Buffalo's tough hide and their own murderous non-conference schedule.
So they're holding court in New York to determine the nation's top team.
So who is the best team in the country? Less than a month into the season, a handful of teams are making a case that they are number one. Exhibit A features the Oklahoma Sooners, whose explosive offense has matched their world-class defense. Today, the UCLA Bruins try to punch a hole in their argument. For Exhibit B, we present the body of evidence that the Michigan Wolverines have displayed, featuring the nation's leading rusher, Chris Perry. However, the Oregon Ducks are ready to take the stand against the Maize and Blue. Exhibit C, the Florida State Seminoles, a team that never needs an alibi because their defense allows a mere 5 points per game. The verdict is still out on today's opponent, the Colorado Buffaloes. So who is the real number one? We'll let you, the members of the jury, decide next on ABC Sports. College football Saturday here on ABC, and welcome to Times Square Stadium here in New York City. John Saunders and Terry Bowden as usual, but we are joined for the rest of the season and beyond by Craig James from ESPN for a player to be named later. We're going to put you on the spot right away. Who do you like for the national championship?
And I'm glad you're going to let me stay the whole year. You know, let's do that. Now, my pick here, y'all are going to pop at me, I'm sure, but Oklahoma, we all like them, and I like USC to play in it. Today, the Pac-10 needs to prevail over the Big Ten. These are big games because of strength of schedule down the road, but I like USC.
I got one question. How can USC be the national champion when they can't be the Pac-10 champion? The last 5 years, the Pac-10 has had a senior quarterback for the last 5 years.
I'm just going to worry about today.
Okay.
I'm going to pick one from each of you. I like USC to face Michigan in the national championship, the Nokia Sugar Bowl. We, of course, will be here at halftime all day long with scores and highlights, but be sure and get back to us at halftime, something you will not want to miss. Out to your games after this.
A few of us had actually never built a set before, so there was a learning curve involved.
When working in television, lighting is important. Now, the best sets are your basic Western frame with open sight lines.
Yes. So the audience can see us, and we can see the camera.
Exactly.
Can I use a jackhammer?
There were times when it looked like everybody might not be on the same page.
Starting with me, everything in this place is mean and miserable.
Is that a tear in your eye, Private? Do you want your mommy? Are you going to cry?
Touchdown lead deep in your own territory, clock winding down. I don't know if you want to pitch it out, though.
Well, you can make an argument that the toss sweep is a basic play for Philip Fulmer, but you can still run the stretch play, keep the exchange clean, have the quarterback take the ball to the back, and it's easy.
Proud sponsor of College Football Saturday.
Undefeated, 9th ranked, Florida State. Sold out Doak Campbell Stadium on a hot September day. The number 9 team in the country in a Big 12 battle against the Buffaloes of Colorado here in Tallahassee. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Bob Greasy. It is a hot one. I don't know if Colorado's ready for the humidity. Maybe by training at altitude, they'll be ready for it. I don't know, but Gary Barnett brings in a team that's 2-1, coming off a disappointing loss. But he kind of likes these situations against a team that's favored.
Well, he's coming in. He's without his starting quarterback and his starting running back and his best defensive player, but he kind of likes this us against the world mentality. Go back to the mid-90s at Northwestern of the Big Ten when he won back-to-back titles. And the last 2 years in the Big 12, He's been in the conference championship game. Gary Barnett likes this environment.
Well, his team, I guess, if they come to the East Coast for the first time in 25, 26 years, they're on a mission. This time last year, this guy was on one.
A 2-year Mormon mission. He just got back this year, was a third-string quarterback, and now because of injury, he is the starting quarterback, making his first start today. His chore is to get the ball to the big play guys, the wide receivers and the tight ends. They've got some skill players if Eric can get them the ball.
The defense of Florida State right now looks like the teams we remember from the 90s. It's the offense everybody's worried about.
Yeah, the defense is playing well. It's the offense that's coming back, and the guy is Chris Ricks. He's in his 4th year he's a 25th year, 25 starts now for the last 2 drives last week. Won the ball game. This could give him a big bonus. And going up against this defense today, there are some big plays out there to be made. Look for him to have a big day.
That's what he's hoping for. Look to our third man on our team to have a hot day. Let's go down in the field and Lynn Swanee.
Well, it will be hot down here, but offense is what they always talk about. But coach, defense win champions. Can this defense be as good as your championship teams in the past?
If they keep improving every Saturday, they've got a chance, Lynn. For the first time in several years, we've played pretty good defense.
Defensive tackle Darnell Dockett, Eric Moore at defensive end. How good do they have to play to win this ball game today?
I think to have a great defense, you've got to have somebody that can make big plays. Both of those boys are capable of doing it. We've got some others, but it's no doubt somebody has got to step up, to make the big play.
Coach, thank you very much. And guys, just for your information on offense, Bobby Meeks, a young man who has had problems with asthma, will be starting today.
All right, we'll keep an eye on him, Swanee, and the heat will be a factor for both teams, obviously. Gary Barnett is in his 5th year, 31-22. As Bob said, back-to-back Big 12 North championships. That's his overall record in 11 seasons. Bobby Bowden, the 2nd winningest coach ever. It's 88. It's probably going to be 90 before it's over.
They had snow flurries and 37 degrees in Boulder on Thursday.
Batez with a kickoff, and Colorado won't have a chance at this one. Jeremy Bloom has to watch it go over his head. So the Buffaloes will work from their own 20-yard line with a quarterback making his first start. Gary Barnett talked about it.
He's got to keep us out of negative yardage situations and prevent turnovers from his end of it. He's got to keep our team calm and run the show. And he's going to have to do that. I think it's critical the first 20 minutes of this game that Eric and really the rest of our team settles in and doesn't give up big plays in that first 20 minutes. We'll be okay after that.
Let's see if they're okay in the first snap. They keep it on the ground, and that's the way to start the ball game. That'll give your quarterback some confidence as Calhoun rips off almost 8 yards. Colorado coming in from Boulder. There's Greenberg, the guy that Bob talked about, making his first start ever. Those are his numbers from last week when he came in for an injured Joel Klatt. Threw 2 interceptions, did throw 3 touchdown passes, however.
He was in for 9 series, 9 drives, 3 touchdown passes, but he had 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions, and that's the thing that Barnett was alerting to. Don't turn it over.
2nd and short, play action and a bootleg. Wanted to throw his first pass, double clutches, and now tries to head for the stick himself. And he doesn't get there. He lost about a yard as we check in with John and the gang in New York.
Well, Brad, it's the Mid-American Conference making some noise this afternoon. Bowling Green against Ohio State. Jock Harris back to pass, trying to even this game up. He's picked off by Will Allen, and Ohio State survives yet another scare as they run out the clock and win at 24-17. Kansas State, though, not as fortunate. Down to Marshall, 27-20, with a minute and a half left to go. We'll let you know when this one is done.
We'll keep you posted on the Thundering Herd. Here it's a thundering crowd on 3rd down and 3 for its defense. Greenberg, quick slant, first down throw to Derek McCoy. There's one of the big play wide receivers that Bob talked about. As we take a look at our Outback Steakhouse starting lineups. And this offensive line has been shuffled a little bit for this game. Wilder, Daniels, Page moves over to center, Stemerick and O'Neal. The wideouts and running backs, Brian Calhoun starts for the injured Bobby Purify today. Vickers will see him in a 1-back set at times. Klopfenstein's a great tight end. Hackett and McCoy are the wideouts. We've already seen Derek McCoy catch one.
There's 2 wideouts, and Klopfenstein, the tight end, are all big targets. The 2 wide receivers over 6'3", Klopfenstein 6'5".
Two tight ends in there right now. Straight ahead they go. Calhoun busts it outside. He's got open field. Calhoun across the 40. Down the sideline. Going to be dragged down, but not before he gets to the 16-yard line. Brian Calhoun rips one off for 69 yards.
Take a look from behind the defense. The steady, straight blocking up inside. Calhoun breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Bobby Purify, the starting running back, not playing today. Calhoun steps up, makes a big play right off the bat for the Buffalo.
All the way to the 16-yard line. 49-yard pickup and a 1st and 10. So Colorado with the chance, the tomahawk chop going in the background for the Seminoles, have it down in the red zone. Empty backfield now. And Greenberg throws, completes it inside the 10, out of bounds. It's McCoy again. He got it down near the 8-yard line. Pickup of 8.
Impressed with the way Colorado's starting off. The offensive coordinator, Sean Watson, just giving Greenberg some nice, easy throws. He's picked up a 1st down on a slant. He's got the ball to the wide receivers, and the running game is kicked in.
What a way to start on the road in a hostile environment for Gary Barnett's Buffaloes.
Only one touchdown scored against this Florida State defense in the first 3 games of this year.
And that was a 47-yard touchdown run by Georgia Tech last week in a near upset. This time they wrap up. Well, nice second effort by Vickers. Vickers spins off and gets down to the 5-yard line against the defense that Bob was talking about, and it is a veteran one and a dandy. Emmanuel, Dockett, Womble, and Moore, great front four. The linebackers, especially Pope and Bull, were very rangy, but it's Augustin that's their leading tackler, the unsung one there. And the secondary veterans as well: McFadden, Ward, Carter, and Stanford Samuels.
That front 7 is probably as good as you're going to see anywhere in the country. Put him up against Oklahoma's front 7.
Official timeout right now at the 5-yard line, with a 1st and goal upcoming for Colorado. I believe it's a clock problem. John Laurie's our referee, and he looks down at the scoreboard to try to get it corrected.
It's a Big 12 crew. The visiting team in these interconference games brings their conference officials with them.
Yeah, they've got it figured out. And Colorado has got it figured out on this opening drive. Started from their own 20. They've worked it to the Florida State 5. Vickers splits out as a wide receiver on the right side. The other 2 to the top of the screen. Now Vickers back in motion. Calhoun slips and goes down. Augustin is the guy that made sure he wasn't going any further. So 2nd down and goal for Colorado. Florida State, Bob mentioned, 1 touchdown on defense allowed this season, a 47-yard P.J. Daniels touchdown run by Georgia Tech last week.
Look at Kendall Pope. We had a nice chat with him yesterday. I'll tell you, inside the 20-yard line and down here, you like to go to your tight ends, and I know that the Buffalo have gone to Klopfenstein a lot down here also.
He scored 3 touchdowns in 4 passes to him in the red zone this year. He's not going to get a chance.
You can't wait that long.
Wembley comes flying in there and sacks him back at the 10-yard line. Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator for Florida State, literally has 12 guys on that front 4 he can rotate. Wimberly's one of them.
And he does. Wembley wasn't even blocked. The back was supposed to block him. That's not good planning and scheming. The defense does a lot of, the linebackers nose up into the defensive line, and sometimes it confuses the offensive lineman. There's a true freshman at left guard, Daniels, may have been confused that time.
On 3rd and goal, they play it safe. Calhoun trying to weave his way to the goal line, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. Alan Augustin, again, one of the first guys there to meet him, along with Jerome Carter from the secondary, and they're going to bring out the field goal unit. So it was looking very good for Colorado, but the sack made them get conservative a little bit, and they'll try a kick here. of about 22 yards.
That was their 12th sack in the last 3 games, a little over 3 games, but still a good drive if they convert on the field goal.
Kevin Eberhardt trying to kick, and it's no good. He missed a 22-yarder. Last week, Mason Crosby had some trouble as the place kicker. Kevin Eberhardt gets the start, and he misses a chip shot. So they waste a long time-consuming drive. Still, we are scoreless in Tallahassee.
Home Depot SEC on CBS. Some Saturdays in September more special than others. This is one of them. The undefeated Georgia Bulldogs.
Dr. Pepper. BU, nothing's better. It's Dr. Pepper. By WebMD, redefining modern medicine. And for the latest in sports news, entertainment, a whole lot more. Don't miss the best damn sports show, period. Joel Myers, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox in Manhattan, Kansas. This is what happened the last time we were here, 10 games. That's the winning streak. It was stopped prior to that when we were here last time in October. Texas with a field goal in the final minute. And back to the blitz and the screen.
Watch him make Koch miss. That was the big play, making Koch miss right there. Then he runs through some arm tackles. Then he turns on the overdrive. And boy, that's a touchdown-saving tackle right there. The angle.
In 99, a one-point game. LSU has not won in this series since 1990. This is Skylar Green, number 5. As Billy Bennett goes from the corner and
Taste of Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper. The taste of originality. Salutes individuality. Individual. Gives life personality. Be you. Do what you do. Be you. Be you. Nothing better than Dr. Pepper. Run DMC and Jam. Dr. Pepper.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
Join Trista and Ryan and American Idol's Clay Aiken for the original reality show, Miss America, tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Kevin Eberhardt's first field goal attempt in a game situation, one he'd like to forget. Hits the right upright and out.
Well, Colorado had everybody warmed up but the true freshman.
So Chris Ricks brings out the Florida State offense at the 20-yard line. Jones, tailback in the eye behind B.J. Dean. But it's Ricks off play action. Might want it all. Throws deep out. Got his man. Rafonso Thorpe. And he's across the 40 and out to the 41-yard line.
I can't tell you how good a feeling that is for a quarterback to come out and practice all week against something that you're going to look forward to throwing against. The first play from scrimmage, you come up, you say, boy, they're in that same defense we practiced for. It's single coverage on the outside. It's just pitch and catch, and quarterbacks and receivers love it.
At the 42-yard line, so a little over 21 yards on the first play, and now it'll be
no huddle.
No huddle and a shotgun look for Florida State. This is where Chris Ricks says he's the most comfortable. Back to throw. Comfort levels going away. And he gets collared, and I mean collared, and almost lost his hat. In fact, it comes off backwards. DeAndre Fluellen with a flag down. And Chris, who had his neck bent in a funny sort of way in the fourth quarter on a touchdown run last week, has a face mask and his helmet turned around with his head in it this week.
Three receivers going downfield. Chris reads double coverage. And, oh, geez, that is. Ooh.
Yeah, the helmet doesn't go that way.
Yeah, Fluellen got him. Sometimes you don't intend to do that. Your hand just gets caught in the face mask as you're going by.
Remember who that was? Eric Crouch. That happened to about 2 or 3 years ago. A very similar situation, and it was a picture that was famous that whole year.
Oh, yeah.
Almost losing his head inside his helmet. So with the penalty, it's first down. It's almost at the 43-yard line of Colorado. So immediately Florida State in Buffalo territory with a first down, and Ricks comes up throwing. It's Davis out in the flat trying to put a move on a man on a corner, but Phil Jackson makes the stop. A nice open field tackle, no gain, as we check in at Times Square Stadium in New York. Here's John.
Brad here with the Taco Bell update. Marshall against Kansas State. Final play of the game. Jeff Schwinn back to pass to the end zone. It is tipped by one of the members of the Thundering Herd, and they as a team will march off with a victory 27-20. They go into Kansas State, get the win. Tennessee, it's a final now. They beat Florida at the Swamp 24-10 is the final. Brad.
Two home teams that weren't safe today. And here Florida State is being backed up by penalty after they got the big 15-yarder on the face mask. It goes right back the other way.
Bobby Bowden said that yesterday that we're probably going to come out and go no huddle at least a lot of the early time, because that's what Chris Ricks felt comfortable with at the end of the ball game last week in winning against Georgia Tech.
So second down and 25. And he will work from the shotgun. Chris has 4 wide receivers, plenty of time to throw over the middle. He overshot. I guess it was Greg Jones that was intended for it. Ended up being behind Chris Davis instead. I'm not sure where he was going with that one, but he talked with us about the fact that with the defense Colorado plays, more plays like that first snap of the ball game could happen today.
Hopefully we'll get our chances one-on-one on the corners and be able to run by them or take the underneath routes. But you know, we're just hoping we see what we've seen on film and what they've done in the past, and go out there and attack.
He saw the underneath route and missed it on the last one, so it's third down and 25. Ricks from the gun, pressured, fires, complete. Inside the 40. Not enough for a first down for P.K. Sam, but they picked up a big chunk of it. They picked up 22 on a third and 25. And now if you're Bobby Bowden, you're thinking, let's go.
You're not going to pick up many third and 25s, but nice job by Ricks finding the open receiver, and they're going to go for it on fourth down.
Well, they went on 4th and 17 last week against Georgia Tech because they were afraid of getting a field goal attempt blocked. This would have been about a 54-yard field goal, so they forget that, and they'll go on fourth down, and they're 50% so far on the year in that situation.
Single coverage at the top.
4th and 3. Play action. Ricks. Home run down the middle. Got Cofanzo Thorpe. Touchdown. That's how you win friends and influence people. Chris Ricks, a strike to Cofanzo Thorpe for the touchdown. "37 yards, right on the money."
That's a way to start a ball game.
Beitia in for the point after. He hasn't been automatic on point afters this year. 11 of 12. This one's right down Duval Street. So Colorado got no points out of their long drive. Florida State comes back and throws a touchdown. The Seminoles lead the Buffaloes 7-0.
Capital One Mascot Island Challenge.
We've separated America's favorite mascots into the polyester and wool blend tribes. First event, Iron Mascot Marathon.
Cast your vote for the National Mascot of the Year at CapitalOneBowl.com. Tune in the Capital One Bowl to see who wins.
Who cares what's in a hot dog? When diverse, cast-aside elements come together to form something great, that's the American way. No, sir. Far better to ask yourself, what are you made of? What spice do you add to the national knockwurst? What flavor do you contribute to the high life?
Well, that's the last of it.
The original rugged Nissan Pathfinder, and coming soon, the new full-size Pathfinder Armada. Pathfinders and countless adventures.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. SBC, ordinary people, extraordinary job. And Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. That's the man there at the end, bringing up the rear of the Ducks. And the Ducks run the pond for Colorado's defense as Chris Ricks 4 for 5 on the Nissan scoring drive for 80 yards and a 37-yard strike to the guy sitting next to him, Kerfonso Thorpe. Let's take a look at the touchdown, Grease.
Well, the first thing the quarterback sees is nobody in the center of the field, and you got single coverage out here. The route that he's going to run is just a little post route. Play action pass, sets up, hits him right on stride. I mean, this is what they were preparing for. This is what they're getting. Colorado is 107th in the nation in pass defense, and that's why. They don't give any help to the guy in the center of the field.
You heard Chris Ricks say, I hope we get what we saw on film and what we practiced for. You heard Bob say single coverage, and just like that, touchdown. Jeremy Bloom now, dangerous return man, as both a punt and kick returner, is back deep. Let's see if Bethea even gives him a chance at it, though. This one he will have a shot at. Nope, it's going to go to Billingsley instead, and he slips and falls as he crossed the 10-yard line. So not good field position again. Billingsley trying to make a cut, and that's going to put the Buffaloes in a bad spot, and they come in short-handed anyway. They don't have their starting quarterback, Joel Klatt, because of that hit, among others. Marcus Harris, their best defensive player, broke his leg against UCLA. Carl Alice, one of their best linemen, out with a concussion, and Bobby Purify would be starting in the backfield. He's out with an ankle injury.
Yeah, but still in all, that first drive was a great drive. They just didn't convert the field goal.
Inside handoff going nowhere for Calhoun as he lost 2. Eric Moore made sure he got nowhere, and Moore has been playing like a madman. He was all over the Georgia Tech backfield last week. He had 2.5 sacks, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble. And still Mickey Andrews said, yeah, but he was the guy out of position on the 47-yard touchdown run.
Yeah. And there's Daniels, number 66, starting at left guard, or the weak side guard. They flip-flop him.
True freshman, right out
true
of
freshman.
Evergreen, Colorado, right there near Boulder, and 300-pounder, but still, that's asking a lot in a place like this against a team like this. Same thing for Eric Greenberg, and he's going to have to call a timeout right here. Didn't like the look of either his set or the defense, and he'll take a timeout with 8 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Buffaloes, having driven the length of the field earlier, missing a field goal, now trying to put something together from deep in their own territory. We'll see how they do when we come back.
And we go back to New York and spend a moment with Tim Brando.
All right, Vernon Todd, one of the teams that had the least credibility, that was unbeaten, went down today. Kansas State's Jeff Schwinn on 4th down, pass incomplete, and Marshall completes it. They had won 41 consecutive non-conference home games until today. They're gone.
Wow is right. Thundering Herd.
I'll tell you what, they played well, though. They gave Tennessee all they could handle in Knoxville, too.
On 2nd down, here's Green. Nobody open. Goes to his left. Goes up and throws it away. So efficient. Doesn't make mistakes. And that.
Life. Its added ingredients help prevent wear on critical.
Chad Lavallee, number 93, was hobbling off the field at the end of that play. He's their motor guy. He's their version of David Pollock, who gets that defense going and gets them charged up, and he came hobbling off the field after that last 2nd down play.
Kyle Williams, number 95, takes his spot. 3rd down. High formation behind David Gray. 5-step drop, pressure, sack. It'll be 4th down at the 40.
Pepsi and Lay's, official sponsors of the NFL.
Monday, Travolta, Uma, Samuel L. Jackson. What's got them talking? It's Quentin Tarantino's next big flick.
I love jerking you around.
Primetime crashes into Hollywood Monday.
Greenberg back in the Colorado huddle, and Bob, might have been the play clock that was the problem.
Well, it was. He comes right up the line of scrimmage, and you can see at the end of the field, at the other end of the field, right through the goalpost, that's the 25-second clock, and the thing just wore down on him. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer when you're a fresh quarterback in there to get the play in right and get it called right.
Now he faces second down and 12. 3 wide receiver group, and penalty markers down. Jesse Wallace, I think the tight end on the right side, may have been the guy that moved. So they're making the situation worse if it's against Colorado. And it is.
5 yards.
Boy, and you start getting in this kind of mess against this Florida State defense, and you're asking for trouble.
It's like Gary said in the in his little interview. He said, you know, we cannot get in 3rd and long and stop ourselves. That first drive they had was a wonderful drive on the road in a hostile environment. They just didn't convert it to points. Then they got a scored against them on a long pass. Now things aren't going well for him. It's Mickey Andrews. Mickey says, keep him back there. We don't want to let him out of this.
Now they'll try to run, and Calhoun is swarmed under, and they do keep him in there. Darnell Dockett, Kendall Pope, and company are there.
Brad and Bob, as Colorado gets set for the 3rd down play, going back to your conversation about the first drive, the biggest plays for Colorado in that first drive weren't necessarily 2nd and 3rd down. They were on 1st down. 1st down in this drive, that first drive, they were getting 7, 8, 9 yards of play that created 2nd and short. That gave them the advantage to call anything they wanted. On this short series, they haven't had success on any play.
And now they find themselves, because of that, with a 3rd down and 18. And if Greenberg throws, it'll be from his own end zone. He won't. Calhoun trying to cut through, and he got by the first wave. Calhoun down the sideline, and he's got a 1st down. So he had a 49-yard romp earlier. He's got 23 here, and Mickey Andrews is about ready to go to the huddle.
Look at Mickey. Boy, you know he isn't going to be happy about that. I mean, that was a nice call, well blocked, well executed. Calhoun makes a couple of guys miss and picks up a huge 1st down. Florida State would have got great field position if Colorado would have had to punt, and the guy that isn't going to be happy is the guy we showed you, and that's Mickey Andrews. He's a good friend. We've done a lot of games at Florida State, and you got to know him to really appreciate it.
I tell you what, yesterday's the first time I've seen him smile in a while, but he ain't smiling now. From the 26, fumble! Colorado got on it, but they got to Greenberg again, and it was Kevin Emanuel this time. As we check in with John in New York.
Well, Brad, Oregon started out very well. Nice long drive, lining up for a 22-yard field goal. It is blocked by Darnell Hood. Picked up by Jeremy LeSueur, who sees nothing but daylight. 78 yards for a touchdown, a 6-0 lead as they miss the extra point attempt. Wolverines haven't had their offense on the field yet. They're up 6-0.
Nice start for Michigan. It was a nice start for Florida State. A touchdown of 80-yard drive capped by a touchdown pass. Colorado's opening march was a good one. They came up empty on a missed field goal, and now timeout again. With 6:59 remaining in the quarter.
See, Eric Greenberg has not been in a game, and things happen faster in a ball game than they do in practice, and he has not had a lot of game experience, and he's letting the 25-second clock. You got to get the play called, get him in and out of the huddle, and get to the line of scrimmage.
It got to the point where it got down to 1 second. One of his receivers was even saying timeout, 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 trying to save the yardage, but obviously they're down to 1 timeout, and we still have a long ways to go just in the first half. This defense that we talked about has already picked up 14 sacks on the season, 2 of them today, 4 interceptions. And they have the kind of depth and talent and speed that Mickey Andrews can just turn loose guys and leave his secondary out there to take care of themselves.
It's a veteran defense. Every starter and most of the backups are juniors or seniors. And that's something he's built on for the last couple of years. He's always telling us, I'm building on next year's team, right, next year's defense by playing freshmen and sophomores. Now those guys are juniors and seniors, and this is a pretty good defense.
Eric Greenberg said he talked to his dad this week. His dad said, what if you're playing against Baylor in your first start? He said, well, I'm kind of happy I'm playing against a great team, but obviously there's some nerves involved in that as well.
At the beginning of the week, it was pretty tough. I was pretty nervous, thinking about the whole thing. Then as the week went on, I calmed down a little bit. After practicing, I felt a lot better. And now I'm a lot more excited. Trying not to think so much about the whole thing and just go out there and have fun with it.
So far, it's been Brian Calhoun that's been having fun, but he's put down after a pickup of about 3.
Yeah, this defense is built on speed, and normally, if you got a speed defense, you run right at speed.
You run sideline to sideline, you're dead.
Yeah, and that's what they tried to do there. He tried to cut it all the way back, and it looked like he had a pretty good chance to come around the right side, but they caught him.
And it brings up the 3rd and long again. Now, they got away with it last time on 3rd and 18 because Calhoun ripped off a 23-yard run, but he comes to the sideline this time.
This is not good. You know, your 3rd downs, the last 3 have been 3rd and 10, 3rd and 18, and 3rd and 16.
Bloom is the 3rd wide receiver. Over the middle they go. It's McCoy, and he's across the 30 to the 31, but he's short of the first down. Michael Boulware, the linebacker, made the stop, and Colorado's got to give it up. That just shows you the speed of Florida State's defense right there. Boulware staying with the wide receiver.
Well, you know, Boulware was a wide receiver at one point in time, and we always tease him about that, being a linebacker, and I asked him, did he have a little wide receiver left in him? He said, oh, yeah, I still got some.
He's got great speed for a linebacker. Torps, first punt. Dominique Robinson waiting on it, and taking it to 24. Got by the first man, not the second. And football! Colorado!
It's down.
It's been blown dead. So Robinson, only 1 yard on the punt return and almost coughed it up. Florida State will come out at the 25-yard line now as we take a look at the Outback Steakhouse starting lineup. Here's the big eaters up front. Barron, Meinrad, Castillo, Meeks, and Willis. We have to watch Castillo on a bad ankle and Meeks with the asthma problems that Swanee was talking about. Jones and Dean in the backfield. Irons the tight end. P.K. Sams and Crefonzo Thorpe. Thorpe with a couple of big catches already today. The main man, number 1. Willie Reed actually into the backfield right here for Florida State on first down. They expect to use him quite a bit today. Play action for Chris Ricks. Deep out, near side, P.K. Sam. And Sam has it across the 40 to the 42. Pickup of 18. Chris Ricks is just licking his chops right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's throwing against single coverage on the outside. They got an 8-man front. Just look at this. They got 8 guys here. You got single coverage out here. You don't have to even run it. But that's just what he's throwing against.
Haven't run it yet. And they've got a first down just inside their own 43-yard line. And now Chris changing things up. Both his wideouts in the left corner of your screen on first down. They will run it here. Willie Reed, nice opening and out to midfield. So the first time Willie touches it, he makes something happen. He's a little change of pace guy compared to Greg Jones, who does have good speed, but is a huge guy. Willie's got a little more shake to him.
Well, he should have. He's 190.
Here's the Colorado defensive line. Nineheis, Fluellen, Dabdoob, and McChesney. The linebackers, Tufts, a tough guy. Hollis in there as well. It's a 4-2-5 defense if you want to look at it that way. Doesn't always line up that way. Sorrell's in the lineup as a starter today. Billingsley, Moore, Jackson, and Joseph round out the back 5.
They thought that defense would be good coming in. They had 8 starters returning, but it has not been that way.
Willie Reed, and he tries to go east-west instead of north-south. And Sammy Joseph, the left cornerback, a good one, a young fella, makes a nice open field tackle. Third down. Vince O'Crew, the defensive coordinator, in his second year that they're running this particular defense.
Yeah, and Vince was telling us earlier that you know, one of the problems we've had is tackling, and Joseph there coming up making a good tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
They had all kinds of trouble against Washington State last week in the tackling area. Third down and 3 from the midfield stripe for Florida State. And flags down before the Seminoles get this one off.
Prior to snap, ball start offense, 5 yards, replay, third down.
So it's going to be third down and 8 instead for Bobby Bowden Seminoles. Little mist going on the sideline. Florida State penalties, third most in the ACC. And let's see if Ricks will work from the shotgun. Right now he's going to come up under center. From the 45, third down and 8. Off play action. Ricks dances around, now on the run, lofts one, complete. First down, Chauncey Stovall. So that time the wheels of Chris Ricks help the cause. He finds an open receiver. It's first down Seminole.
And the nice thing about this is Chris Ricks doesn't do this on purpose. He did this instinctively. Guys were covered. He got outside the pocket. He found Stovall. Did a little nice little touch job over the defensive back. First down.
And now they're going to say Stovall was out of bounds and came back in. You might have heard John Laurie, his referee mic, just at the end caught that, and so that'll negate the first down.
Yeah, once a receiver, as he leaves the line of scrimmage, goes out of bounds, he can't be the first one to touch it.
See if we can see it. Stovall. Oh, there's the right foot. Great call.
Yeah,
good call.
Yeah, he touched it. And then that's what those officials should be looking for on the sideline there. Those side judge and the back judge.
Jesse Stein to punt. Just barely got it away, but it's a nice one. Hangs in the air. Bloom waiting on it. Makes a tough catch at the 16. And down he goes. Flag on the play.
Yeah. You've got to give the punt returner an opportunity to make the catch.
Not the halo anymore. You don't have to give him 6 feet, but he's got to be able to touch it.
Yeah, you can't just fly over him and intimidate him.
Catch, interference, 15 yards, spot of the foul, first down.
So that's going to give him great field position to be about the 31-yard line. Here's another look.
You think this guy's going to scare Bloom?
No. Hey, if he doesn't get scared by all those moguls out there skiing, he's not scared of that guy.
Yeah, I'm sure most of the people in Colorado know that Jeremy Bloom is a world-class mogul skier. And
he's a tough little customer.
Every time I see a mogul, I go the other way. Oh, boy.
So out to the 31 they come. Colorado trailing Florida State 7-0. 3:24 remaining here in the first quarter from Tallahassee. Two tight end set again. Wallace and Klopfenstein both in there. Nice play fake by Greenberg, and he finds it wide open wide receiver McCoy, and that's McCoy's third catch already, so he's becoming his favorite in a hurry. Here's today's singular wireless poll question. Which team should be ranked #1? You like Oklahoma, USC, Ohio State, Michigan, Miami?
I like that question.
Yeah. Singular users text message to 222 ABC or log on to ESPN.com. Search singular. We'll have the results of the poll in the second half of our game today.
Now, you know, this is just this point in time of the season.
Right.
You know, not before the season, not at the end of the years, because some of those teams are going to get better and some of them may get worse, maybe due to injury.
Ohio State snuck by today. Michigan out to a good start. So's Florida State's defense. Darnell Dockett. And Dockett's Nope. Darnell really playing up to his potential of what the Florida State coaching staff thought he would be 2 or 3 years ago.
Right in here in the center, watch Dockett, number 45. He just comes around the block. That's Wilder, number 74. Oh, yeah. Wow. Dockett's in the backfield. Wilder, the weak side tackle, was a defensive lineman last year.
Darnell's got the Florida State record for tackles for loss, including that last one. Here's a throw out. B.J. Hackett. Penalty markers down. And they whistle the play dead.
Prior to snap, ball start, offense, 5 yards, still third down.
All the penalties killing Colorado right now. And Florida State will take it and watch them back it up to a third down and long again.
Well, they're stopping themselves.
Yep.
You know, sometimes when you change quarterbacks or you go to young quarterbacks who haven't been in there a lot, the cadence is a little bit different, or the timing is a little bit different.
There's Joel Klatt, who would have been the starter.
And they say that Joel's shoulder should be well enough. They're off. They have an open week next week, and they play Baylor in 2 weeks. Say that he should be back for that ball game.
They call it a third-degree sprain, separation of that throwing shoulder. Here's Greenberg as replacement. He throws a strike right there for a first down.
I tell you what, these wide receivers, the three of them, Donahoe, McCoy, and Hackett, are big-time receivers.
Donahoe's the shortest of the group. McCoy and Hackett both 6'3". This time it's Donahoe on the receiving end, a pickup of 14.
Donahoe has the most speed. He's a 4'4" guy. And he's on a pretty good defensive back. McFadden was probably the top defensive back coming out of high school 3 or 4 years ago. And Mickey Andrews was telling us because of injuries he really hasn't gotten there yet, but he's back now.
They go back to Calhoun on first down, but again Florida State's defense will drop him for a loss. Nice play defensively by Wembley again as we check in with John in New York.
For the BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT update, Jason White only 1 interception all year long. Here's his second. Spencer Hagener takes it and goes 72 yards, gets the ball inside the 10-yard line down to about the 6. And a few plays later, after being backed up, Manuel White goes in for the touchdown, 10-7.
So being at home, as I said earlier, hasn't been too comfortable for everybody today. Nice bootleg, Greenberg, and he'll keep it and pay the price. Oh boy, flag down. This will be a late hit out of bounds by A.J. Nicholson.
Yeah, see, Greenberg is bringing more punishment onto himself than he needs to, but he did get a 15-yard penalty. I like the choices he's making. I like the presence of mind, the choices of not to throw the ball wildly when he gets outside the pocket and nothing is there.
Penalties, penalties, penalties on both teams. You'll see again Greenberg's made the decision, and now as he heads to the sideline, he's on his way out.
Yeah, see, that's tough. That's tough for a defensive guy to run all that way and then have him go out of bounds and pull yourself off. But you got to anticipate and expect that when an offensive player is near the out of bounds and he's going to run out of bounds, you got to let up.
He's been hit and knocked down and sacked, as Bob said, but he's surviving, and he's got his team a first down at the 44-yard line. Wallace, the tight end, in motion. Now they go to Vickers. Vickers, a big back with good speed, cuts outside, and he's got a first down. DJ Ward had to drag him down from the secondary, but Lawrence Vickers is a big fella at 225, but he shows he's got some speed as well.
What Colorado is doing is they're going to 2 tight ends a lot. Let me show you right here. There's 2 tight ends. One's going to come in motion across the plane, and the tight ends are going to be blocking. And right here, you got that nice little hole inside.
And Vickers took advantage of it before Ward dragged him down at about the 32-yard line as the first quarter will come to a close. Colorado had a long drive early, missed a field goal. Florida State came back with an 80-yard march and a touchdown strike by Chris Ricks. That's what we've got at the end of the first quarter. 7-0.
Skylar Green, a 5'9" sophomore from West Wego, Louisiana.
See, that's a good play on second down. You have second down and 20. It's hard to get all that back. You try to get some of it back. You know, you'd love to get half of it back, but they only got 7 of it back. And it's still a long yardage situation, but you don't force it and have 3rd and extra long.
3rd and 12 now. 3-man rush. They drop 8, and the pass is intercepted. Picked off at the 40-yard line by Sean Jones. That's his 3rd in 2 games. He had 2 last week, and he gets perfectly positioned for this one.
He read the thing the whole way. Devery Henderson is the intended receiver, and he was never able to push the coverage off far enough. Watch Sean Jones. His eyes are on the quarterback, and as soon as he saw where he was going with the football, he broke on the ball. He was
chicken simmered in authentic Mexican spices. It's a little spicy, a lot filling, and only $1.29. To get your fill of this satisfying thrill, think outside the bun.
There was one envelope I really hated to open every month. My wire.
Week lumbers to the 30s. You don't think that was lumbering either?
No, that wasn't lumbering either.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get your attention.
Now, like if a defensive tackle picks up a fumble and runs, that constitutes lumbering.
Lumbering? Okay.
Yeah.
Highest freshman rushing average this year, Deshaun Wynn of Florida at 7.6. That was before the Florida-Tennessee game. And Cooper, number 2.
David Green, this is a blitz look with no free safety in the middle. Now they're checking out of it. They draw the audible, and then they check out.
And the snap. Hand off, Cooper coming left. Gets a good block at the line of scrimmage, is forced out at the 17-yard line. A 14-yard gain. We're going to
Tuesday, Blues season premiere pushes the limits of drama.
The 15th precinct is a hotbed of corruption.
You'll be begging for more.
He tried to murder my boss. And you're getting your revenge now.
Blues season premiere, ABC Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
Nice that Bob and I are going to have something to do again on Tuesday nights with Blue back.
Yes, sir.
We're back in Tallahassee. Start of the second quarter. Florida State leading by a touchdown, but Colorado has again put a nice drive together. 1st and 10 at the Florida State 32-yard line. Again, Wallace, the tight end, in motion. Greenberg throws on the run, and a sliding reception at the 29 by DJ Hackett.
You know, you come in on the road, and there's a look at Wilder. He would mention him a little earlier. He is they call him the weak side tackle, the flop side. They flop their offensive linemen strong and weak, but he was a defensive lineman until about a week before, 10 days before the opening of training camp this summer. He had 5 sacks last year, sacking the quarterback. Now they move him over. He's an offensive tackle, and he's doing very well.
Had they known Marcus Harris was going to get hurt, though, probably he'd still be on the other side.
Exactly.
Greenberg's perfect. 6 for 6. Straight ahead they go with Vickers. And nice second effort by Vickers to get inside the 25 to the 24. And off to Times Square Stadium in New York. Here's John.
The Michigan Wolverines, Brad, cannot stop the Ducks on offense. Again, Terrence Whitehead takes this and goes 19 yards for the touchdown. Michigan had the ball 56 seconds in the first quarter, but they still trail by just one, 7-6. Brad.
That's what you call using your time of possession.
Yeah, but that's not good for Michigan defense.
Kendall Pope, who was a little dinged up coming into this game, sitting down now as Colorado has a 3rd down and short, and the throw's incomplete, intended for Vickers on the sideline. So it's 4th down and 2. First incompletion for Eric Greenberg.
Colorado, that first quarter, had the ball 11 minutes to only 4 minutes for FSU.
They're gonna give their freshman kicker another crack. Remember, he hit the right upright from 22. This will be more like 42 for Kevin Eberhardt to try to put Colorado on the board. The kick on the way. It's got the distance, but again, just to the right.
Missed them both just to the right.
So still Colorado comes away empty. Their quarterback playing pretty well. Their kickers missed a couple. They still trail number 9 Florida State by only 7.
Here's Mark. Adai, little skip pattern in the backfield, and out to the 12-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
You know, you're talking about fumbles, and you made the mention that last week Adai fumbled twice, and not only did he fumble twice, but they were both in the red zone. I mean, down inside the 10-yard line, and Jim Boone told us, you know, he's not like that. I mean, he's a great worker. He prepares hard. He's never had that problem, but for whatever reason, he just was off last Saturday, and it's good to see him back in the lineup now and running with some conviction.
3rd down. Here's Mark into the flat, dropped. That should have been caught. Skyler.
To lawyers that go to court with you, if you need them. And your Allstate agent who knows the moves to help you. Helping you, the king, feel protected. Just one more way, you're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, my customers are on the way. Where's the key? Hello? Hello, where's the key? Oh, come on. Where's the key?
If your walkie-talkie service is unavailable, bad things can happen. Now there's a push-to-talk from Verizon Wireless, brought to you on America's best, most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now?
So across the street and across the country, we mean business. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
There's more to protecting your family in the summertime than knowing which sunscreen to use. You've got to make sure they're protected at home as well. And no one helps protect families better than ADT. A single ADT system can help protect your home and family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and take advantage of ADT's summer special and get ADT installed at a price you can afford. You could even save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. ADT, always there.
The 1-hour premiere your mother warned you about.
Why don't you do something about that skid mark on your chin?
I'll shave mine when you shave yours.
George Lopez, Friday, 8/7 Central on TGIF.
Welcome back to Tallahassee. On the sideline, Kendall Pope is surrounded by a lot of white shirts. You probably can't see right now what they're doing to him, but they're working on his left knee. He injured it in that last series, came over to the sideline. We'll try and update you as to whether or not he'll be back in the ballgame.
All right, Smalley, a Butkus and All-American candidate, Kendall Pope. Here's Chris Ricks to Chris Davis. First down, Florida State. Another strike. Pickup of 16. And it looks like Florida State will go with the no huddle.
It's not a hurry-up offense. It's just a no huddle where you go to the line of scrimmage, you line up, see there's no hurry. The linemen are just kind of sitting around asking each other, how you doing? You have a nice time out here? All right, now let's get serious and go.
At the 40-yard line, Florida State set to get serious from the gun. 4 wideouts for Ricks. Over the middle he goes, completes it. Dominic Robinson, and he might have a first down. Robinson brought down by J.J. Billingsley. Could be just a little bit short of the first down. It is. And Kendall Pope.
That doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. It's the pain he's showing.
The part that doesn't look good is him covering his face because, you know, that those of us who have played, that usually means something not too good.
Senior out of Fort White, Florida, who we spent a long time with yesterday. Nice kid, and we'll hope the best for him. Chris Ricks pumps and then tries to get the first down, and a flag comes in. You saw some of the coaches, and Chris Ricks comes up limping a little bit as he tried to tiptoe inside that marker to get the first down. Then he got shoved out of bounds.
Yeah, that happened over here on this sideline, just about where the other foul happened on Greenberg going the other way.
It was Nineheis, the defensive end, that gave him the shove, and so that's going to be a free 15 for Florida State as we look at the end of the play.
There's Nineheis right here. Yeah,
oh boy, that was a little weak.
Yeah.
He tried to pull up, it looked like.
But he still hit him.
Yeah. 8th penalty, 4 on each team already. And a first down at the 34. Ricks in the shotgun. Plenty of time to throw. Zips it to Crefonzo Thorpe. He slips and went down at about the 28-yard line. He was trying to put the brakes on and do a U-turn and blew a tire there and went down. But coming up on the Valvoline Halftime Show, John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James will have scores and highlights from around the country. Some teams not faring too well on their home turf today. Here in Tallahassee at Doak Campbell in front of 82,000 plus. Florida State's got their hands full really with Colorado, but they got a good looking drive going again. Chris Ricks is 8 of 10 passing so far today.
And on target.
2nd down and 4 upcoming. He gets under center this time. Greg Jones is finally back in at the tailback spot. We haven't seen him since early in the quarter. They fake it to him. Rick steps up, flushed out of the pocket, trying to get to the first down, and does. Rick's wheels get him a first down again.
Well, he had 3 guys out, 1 down the middle and 2 down the side. And he just took off. Gave him a chance to get open and nothing did, and he just took off. The thing I like is he's not doing it because he wants to do it. He's doing it on reaction, on instincts. All right, if nothing's there, time's up, I got to go.
And he did for a first down to the 21-yard line. Now again with 4 wideouts. Throws to the end zone. Got a man. P.K. Sam out of bounds. Whoa, what an effort, though. Whew. That would have been some kind of catch. He caught it. He just ran out of real estate.
His legs weren't long enough.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, that was awfully close.
PK is 6'3", but he's not that long. But see, this is a good throw by Ricks. He throws it to the back of the end zone where only your receiver is going to have a chance to catch it.
Oh, boy.
Well,
and you hear the boos.
It was closer than I thought.
Yeah.
It still looked like he was on the little white line.
So 2nd and 10. Ricks over the middle. What a tough catch by Dominique Robinson, and a penalty marker flies in behind. Might be a holding call as he's got somebody draped all over him and still made the catch.
They ought to call that a bear hug hold. I'm telling you, what I saw the receiver do on that play, Bob and Brad, is something I don't see very often in college football or in pro football for that matter. The receiver is being interfered with. There's a guy draped all over him, but he still has a chance to make the catch. So many of the receivers don't continue to focus on the ball and don't make the catch when the big thing can happen. That time the receiver kept the focus on the catch. A guy draped all over him, got him by the waist, and he's still making the catch.
Yeah, it was
you like that.
That was a dandy. And down to the 14-yard line it goes. So back in the red zone for Florida State. They lead 7-0, 11:20 remaining in the half. They've got it at the Buffalo's 14-yard line. Davis in motion out of the backfield. Quarterback draw by Chris Ricks. Spins down to the 5. Close to another first down. That one by design, and last week against Georgia Tech, he had one of those for a touchdown that got Florida State back in the ballgame.
They were struggling last week, and finally it was Chris Ricks's feet that got him in the end zone. This is a nice play. 3 wide receivers. They put one of the backs in motion. The center and one of the backs come forward to block. They both block the same guy, and Chris picks up close to a first down inside the 5-yard line.
The 2nd down at about a yard. Jones straight ahead. Going to be close to a first down. I don't know. Let's take you back to Chris Ricks last week against Georgia Tech. They were down 13-0 with about 11 minutes to go in the ball game. They got close to the goal line, and here was Chris Ricks going in from 3 yards out, taking it on the back of the neck. He had to get ice put on his neck during the break. Subsequently threw a touchdown pass to PK Sam, and the extra point won it for him last week, 14-13. They're going to take a timeout right here with a big 3rd down and 1 with another opportunity to score. They lead already 7-0 with 10:07 remaining first half from Tallahassee.
At the count of 3, you're going to be a chicken. 1.
Is this dangerous?
No, you don't even need that insurance. 2.
What insurance?
If you're sick, you miss work, they pay you cash. 3, you're a chicken. Now, you're a duck.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Blitz. Every chance you get.
A little too big for me.
Yeah, but you do the O's well.
Yeah. All right.
43-yarder again. Billy Bennett, the senior. He is closing in on the 2nd position of all-time scorers. Kevin Butler is first. A guy named Herschel Walker, currently number 2. Billy Butler trails him by 4 points. Here's Butler. Did not get it.
I was just about to say before that kick, he is so solid. I mean, watching him in pregame warm.
Offense. The newly redesigned 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix. Fuel for the soul.
10:07 remaining in the first half. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew in Tallahassee, where the Seminoles have a 7-0 lead and a 3rd and 1. The last guy to put his hat on in that huddle was Bobby Meeks. He's the guy that battles the asthma problems and is hot as heck down here. And he's been limping around as well, so he's a little hobbled. 3rd down, a yard. Big play by both teams here. Colorado trying to force a field goal. Florida State might take 2 downs anyway here. Here comes a blitz. Greg Jones, left side, got the first down. 1st and goal, Florida State. Mack Mick Chesney made the stop, but the big bull went off the left side and rumbled down to about the 1.
It's a big load there. Greg Jones, 245, 250 pounds, depending on how much he had for breakfast.
I'll tell you, I told Greg this when we talked to him the other day. The day he was born, the nurse tried to give him a bottle of milk. He said, give me meat.
He's got it down to the 1 yard line, and he's the tailback in the eye. 1st and goal, Florida State. They fake the toss to him. Ricks rolls and throws. Alfonso Thorpe couldn't make the catch. Incomplete. Pretty good coverage by Phil Jackson. Thorpe kind of got turned around on that pass.
Yeah, that's the pass that you should hit on 1st down, 1st and goal from the 2 yard line. You're outside the pocket. You've got all this time. Look at that. It slipped out of his hand.
Yeah,
that ball went end over end.
That's a shot putter, a discus thing. That wasn't Thorpe's problem. That one took off on Chris.
That just took off.
And guys, if he'd taken a little time just to look inside, he would have seen number 88, Donnie Carter, wide open.
Whack, 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 whack.
Last week in this situation, he ran that quarterback draw for a touchdown. This time, he'll try to follow his blockers to the end zone. Ricks, and he's put down and planted at the 4 yard line.
He's taking some shots.
He really has. Clyde Sorrell drops him for a loss of 3. And that's 3rd and goal. Sorrell back in that Colorado lineup for the first time in a long time. Lost his little brother, who was shot outside a party and died a couple of weeks ago, so he was at the funeral last week. And I'm sure playing not with heavy pads but a heavy heart, but out there starting today for the first time all season.
For this year, he had 7 starts last year, and they're good. They're nice to. They said nice to have you back, and they're happy to have him back.
3rd down and goal now, backed up at the 5 yard line. Inside handoff, Jones. Nope, they're not going to let him get anywhere. Nice job defensively by Dominic Brooks, a freshman who came up from the secondary and made the hit, and Bobby's on the headset.
Yeah, Bobby says those aren't the way I'd call those plays. Bobby's not calling the plays anymore. He's letting Jeff, who's up in the booth, call them. Good series for Vince's crew.
And there's Jeff Bowden, the offensive coordinator, on the right side of your screen. So field goal attempt after a good-looking drive for Florida State. They had a 1st and goal at the 1. They have to try to settle for a 20-yard field goal. And Beitia hasn't been automatic, as you can see, so far this year. He's on the right hash, pretty close, but he knocks it through. So Florida State tacks 3 more on with 8:19 remaining in the first half. The Seminoles leading the Buffaloes 10-0.
Coverage starts at 3 next Saturday on CBS 46.
Somewhat serious demeanor of Matt Mockler, 24-year-old quarterback. And he's got a 1st down in the first play of the quarter. Under intense pressure, finds Michael Clayton to the 28-yard line. We get set for the start of the 2nd quarter now. Vern Lundquist along with Todd Blackledge and Jill Arrington. Field position is so important, but I would feel George is a little exasperated right now.
I mean, they've won the field position battle in the 1st quarter. 4 trips inside LSU's 40-yard line, but only 3 points to show for it. So LSU has to be breathing a little bit, more relieved at this point, knowing that they were able to withstand that and not give up any touchdowns.
Well, 3-0 is the score right now, and a 3rd down and 5. And a bad snap. Mark goes back and is nailed at the 12.
應該咁做，真係冇理由，真係冇理由，真係冇啲球嘅，快啲啊！快啲，快啲啊！check我。
See, Thomas Davis is a unique player because he's a safety, but he also is a great pass rusher, and he's going to beat most tackles. He beat Rodney Reed.
FedEx Express, all you need to know when shipping to Asia.
When LA's newest cops hit the streets,
Come down here.
the streets won't know what hit them.
You told them to take the stairs.
10-8 Officers on Duty, ABC Sunday, September 28th.
Been a long time since Colorado's been on the East Coast. Those guys have partied their way from Boulder. Their team down 10-0. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the Chevrolet player of the game. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's General Scholarship Fund. There's a little Noel.
Stand up.
And Colorado will be receiving. Marcus Moore back deep. Florida State traveled 73 yards in 13 plays, but had to settle for Beitia's 20-yard field goal. So Zaviet's got it teed up to kick away. Colorado, a couple of nice looking drives today. 10 plays each and nothing to show for it. A yard deep. It's Wheatley. And he runs into traffic as he got out near the 19-yard line.
Good coverage by Florida State inside the 20-yard line.
Time now for our Aflac trivia question. And here we go. Which former Colorado Buffalo was the first man to lead the NFL in rushing in his first 2 seasons? There's a tough one for you. Only 5 have done it, we understand. And we'll give you the answer a little bit later on.
Who comes up with those anyway?
I don't know.
I got an idea.
Vickers in the backfield, the ball loose, incomplete.
Nice play. Nice play.
Eric Moore picking up where he left off last week.
Yeah. He got fooled initially, got back in position, and then knocked the ball down. Nice play. Eric Moore.
3.5 sacks on the season. 2.5 of those came against Georgia Tech last week.
Had a fumble recovery and a forced fumble, and now he gets a pass deflected. He's going to be back in those stats with the defensive backs.
2nd down at 10. And again, Colorado working inside its own 20. Greenberg, play action, lofts one, got his man. It's Jeremy Bloom. Nobody's going to catch him. Great speed and touchdown, Colorado. In sight. That was straight skiing.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody's going to catch him. He is smaller than he looks and you think, and he is faster than you think. Good execution there. Eric Greenberg to Bloom.
Mason Crosby comes in to attempt the point after. The kick is up and good. So just like that, Jeremy Bloom on this play for 81 yards.
There he is up here. He's just going to go down and run a deep post, a little play action in the back here, and watch as he's just going to come wide open. Little play action. Now look what he's got out here. Nobody down here in deep center field. He does a nice throw. I thought initially he might have underthrew it. Nobody's even catching him.
Rufus Brown was the closest guy, number 7, as you get another look at it. And once the world-class skier got it right there, it was all downhill.
Looked like Rufus Brown was expecting some help in the center of the field and didn't get it.
You know, Bloom is a big play type of guy. The first time he touched it ever last year, he went 75 yards on a punt return against Colorado State. The first time he ever touched it as a receiver was a 94-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And he just took that one 81 yards in a hurry.
Hey, he said, this is nothing. Said, I don't have all those clothes on. It's not cold. It's not slippery. And it's level.
It was level. So 10-7, just like that. Eberhardt's kick will go to the 6. Took Alfonso Thorpe, and Thorpe got only to about the 24-yard line. And a little pushing and shoving at the end of the play. Well, earlier we asked you our Aflac trivia question. Which former Colorado Buffalo was the first man to lead the NFL in rushing in his first 2 seasons? Fellas, any guesses?
I haven't had time to think. Bieniemy?
It's pretty quick.
Swanee? I'd go with the same guy, Bieniemy, Eric.
I'd say Bobby Anderson. I have no idea. Really. Oh, we're going back. Whizzer White.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Look at this.
Well, you know, when you're a Chief Justice, you get some play on our air. Byron Whizzer White, gone on to bigger and better things, went on to bigger and better things other than football. Passed away not that long ago.
The Sigma Chi.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are we hitting your, speaking of that, Are we hitting your house next week?
Well, we could.
Purdue, old Purdue?
Yes, we could.
Okay. I know you've got a Hall of Shame there where you've once lived, so we probably should visit. We're just warning the guys up in West Lafayette for next week. 2nd down and 5. Wide open over the middle. And a 1st down to Willie Reed. Clyde Sorrell made the stop, but Willie Reed getting more work. Not much change on the scoreboard from last week. We all fanned on that one.
What is this, the 4th week? I think the guy that's making these things up, thinking them up, are going a little bit more difficult than we need.
Yeah, I think they tried to embarrass us, and we can usually do that by ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1st down from the gun. Slip screen over to P.K. Sand, and a nice open field hit puts him down before he can get going. Sorrell again on that corner is the guy that made the hit, and he said, oh man, I hit my shoulder in the same time.
Yeah, looks like he may just have a burner.
So Florida State's big lead evaporated on one long touchdown. They had an opportunity with a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, had to settle for a field goal the last time they had it. Sorrell goes out, and a timeout taken by Colorado. That's their final one of the 1st half. 7:10 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Seminoles at home, leading by 3.
In the corner for Damian Gary through his hands. A little contact at the goal line. Ronnie Prude, number 1, was defending Gary.
All the blitzes that we've seen, this time they don't blitz, but they still run press coverage. But they don't go after David Green, and Prude is in good position. He knows where the end zone is, but a fairly catchable pass by David Green. I guess we should count that as the 5th drop pass by the Georgia Bulldogs.
Billy Bennett for the field goal from 42 yards away. Missed it again.
Fragile psyche. Kickers all have it. He missed the last one, and he missed another one.
5 times inside the 40, 3 points. We'll continue after this word from your local station.
The nation's top 10 research universities is the fastest growing. Where are they pioneering medical advancements and revolutionizing healthcare?
Anything is possible here.
With 3 Nobel Prizes awarded in physics last year, this university received 2.
If you always question, if you always strive to be better than you are, you will achieve things you never thought possible.
I admire the Oakland Raiders for their sportsmanship. They wouldn't think of playing dirty. They're just a bunch of guys out to enjoy a friendly game of football.
Jake's still getting used to the thin air in Denver.
Raiders, Broncos, Monday night on ABC.
Whoa.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Hummer. Check out the H2 at your local dealer. Hummer, like nothing else. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate. And Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? Capital City of Florida, Tallahassee. Doak Campbell Stadium, and the hometown Noles leading, but by only 3 after the long touchdown by Gary Barnett's Buffaloes. On the one pass play, Greenberg to Bloom, 81 yards, makes it 10-7. 7:10 remaining in the quarter. Chris Ricks now will work from the shotgun. Seminoles from their own 37 is going to flare it out of the backfield to Willie Reed. A lot of white jerseys around. Willie does what he can and got across the 41-yard line.
Impressed with Chris Ricks today. He's very under control. Seems to be in knowing what's going on, where he wants to go with the ball, and letting the game come to him. Not pre-deciding where I'm going to throw the football, but waiting to see what the coverage does and see who's open and go there.
Those numbers are pretty darn good. And so Crew looking on, the defensive coordinator for Colorado.
His defense in the first 3 games twice has given up over 35 points. And they're a lot better than that.
They come in 96th in the country in points allowed. They've only allowed Florida State 10 so far. 3rd down, a long 5. from the 42. Ricks with time. Zips it complete. First down. Nope, he dropped it. Dominic Robinson saying, wait a minute. And the official came running in, the side judge, and said it hit the turf.
Now that should have been a completion. The guy was wide open. Chris just threw the ball a little bit to his outside. Right here, just threw it. He should have thrown it right at him, stuck him with it. And he threw it a little bit high and outside, and he drops it.
I think we'll see a lot better from this angle. This will be a good look here. That's a good call. Tried to pin it on his thigh pad. It hit the turf and then rolled over with it, but it's incomplete. Bloom will take a fair catch here. Jesse Stein's punt goes 45 yards, no return, and Colorado trailing by only 3 gets the ball back. Remember, they have no timeouts left, but still plenty of time in the first half. 6:27 remaining in the second quarter. Next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, we got a great lineup of regional games highlighted by Pittsburgh, Texas A&M in the BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT. Wake Forest and Virginia in the ACC. We'll be at Purdue against the Fighting Irish. We'll have a Pac-10 game as well. Check your local listings for the game in your area or get ESPN Game Plan and watch the game of your choice. Crowd trying to come to life on this hot day for the Seminoles defense. And slipping and going down is Calhoun. And Brian Calhoun's had most of his 78 yards on 2 plays today, a 49-yarder and a 23-yarder.
And he was looking for that too. There was nothing up the middle. The defense had stuffed it and looking to go around the side, and there was nothing there.
6th time there's been no gain or a loss on the play, and a running play for the Buffaloes, and so they find themselves in a long yardage situation again after dropping a couple. 2nd down and 12. 2 tight ends set for Colorado. Greenberg will give it off to Calhoun again, and again that tough defense for Florida State. Jerome Carter came up from the secondary, and he made the stop. We won't stop before we head to John Saunders in New York. John?
Right, and Stephen Moore of Oregon won't stop as well, and that's being a problem for the Wolverines. They get a few hands on him, but no one tackles, and then he just takes off. Stephen Moore going 61 yards in this punt return as Oregon adds to the lead now, 21-6 over Michigan.
It's up at Alton Stadium.
Yeah,
you ever been there?
Place about half as big as the big house.
Oh boy, that little bandbox place up there. Okay, they get you up there. They're gonna turn you loose.
3rd and long. Greenberg completes it. Not going to be enough for the first down to Sipnewski, though. He got only about 5 of the 10 he needed. And A.J. Nicholson, the linebacker, who had a penalty earlier, makes a nice play there from his linebacker position.
Nicholson in there for Kendall Pope, who is out with an injury.
And it's punting time. John Torp, a sophomore punter, stands inside his own 5, and that's Chris Davis. And Chris has got some moves and some speed. He sets back at his own 40. Torp hit it way up in the air.
Good kick.
Beautiful kick. It's going to bounce out of bounds just inside the 40. In fact, right at the 40-yard line. So still good field position for Florida State. 47-yard kick with no return, but because he had to kick from near his own 5-yard line, Florida State's got their timeouts and 4:18 to work with. We take a look at our Pacific Life game summary in this one so far. Rafonso Thorpe on a perfect pass from Chris Ricks, capped an 80-yard march. Xavier Badia with a field goal made it 10-0. And then Jeremy Bloom, 81 yards, about as fast as you can blink your eye, on a perfect throw from Greenberg, and that is where we stand. 10-7 Florida State with the Noles and the football back at their own 40-yard line. Ricks steps up in the pocket, deep out to Thorpe. Thorpe's right there. Boy, that one covered a lot of territory. And a 24-yard pickup.
He's got an arm. He can throw it. He just steps up and throw it. You know, they love this. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, single coverage out here, just going to go down and break to the outside. Single coverage.
He threw that from the left hash. That's a long throw.
Yeah, that's a long throw, but they love it. And they just, you know, that's what you like, pitch and catch with your wide receiver.
First down, Seminoles at the Buffaloes' 36-yard line. Quick throw this time to P.K. Sam. Sam, nice couple of moves and a stiff arm, and he's inside the 20. Down to the 19-yard line. Florida State's got something working with 4 minutes left in the quarter. 17 yards on that play.
Boy, is that strange noise you hear on the sideline at the far ends of the line. That's the wide receivers licking their lips. Every time they come out and see man-to-man coverage, see a guy playing them off that deep, they're saying, okay, just give it to me any way you can.
Just get it out here.
At the 19, they continue with a no huddle from the gun. Ricks flares this one out of Jones in the backfield. Greg puts a hand in there.
He is alone.
Did he drop the ball? Officials in Colorado say they got the ball.
He dropped the ball, Brad. I'm standing right by where he came out of bounds. Jones came out of bounds. He got hit. Stiff-armed the guy right in the head. He loves to do that. Stiff-armed him, lost the ball. But when it was recovered by Colorado, the ball had already gone out of bounds. There's a great stiff arm. He's going to lose the ball about right here. The ball pops out. Now watch the ball. It's going. It's out of bounds.
Oh, good call, Swanee. Thanks. You're right on top of it. So just that close. We talked to Greg yesterday about his running style and about those stiff arms that he throws. We'll talk about that after this play. 2nd down and 9. Play action. Ricks in trouble. Looking to throw on the run, and now he'll keep it. And again, he takes a lick and gets covered at about the 14-yard line. Swanee, you're the guy that asked Greg Jones when he does throw those stiff arms what he aims for.
And yeah, he's got such huge, powerful arms. We've seen him do it a number of times. And he says, I said, what do you aim for? Their chest? He goes, no, I aim. I take the arm. Number 6 takes an arm. I give him right to him in the head. I said, I just attack those guys.
That's when I said he's a cousin of Joe Frazier. I said, is Joe Frazier teach you that one? Just go to the head. Smoking Greg.
He's a cousin.
Yep.
Yeah.
3rd down and 6. And now Ricks will come under center. And did they run out of time? I didn't think they did.
Timeout was called by the wide receiver, Brad. He looked up at the clock. It was about to run down, and the wide receiver on the near side, as you're sitting up there, called the timeout.
Got down to 1 second. And I think Chris thought he could have gotten the playoff, but they take one to assure they're not going to end up with a 3rd down and longer situation. There's the timeout called from the near side.
Probably he heard that from the bench. Some of the coaches from the bench were probably hollering.
Kerfonso called the timeout. So Florida State's down to 1. 2:39 remaining in the half. They lead 10-7 and trying to add to that lead. Just 2 races to go. 5 drivers still have a chance at winning the IRL IndyCar Series. We'll see if anybody can get to the top and stay there. Don't miss the Toyota Indy 400 tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, right here on ABC Sports. Yeah, the Buffaloes have come from Boulder. They've only played one other ACC team in their history. That could have been our Aflac trivia question. That was in 1957. They played a bowl game against Clemson. Other than that, they don't come this way that often. And both these teams, we have to tip our caps for their non-conference schedules. You look at these 2 non-conference schedules of these clubs, and it makes your eyes roll.
Yeah, 2 of the best. 2 of the toughest non-conference schedules. And there's a look at Gary Barnett. You know, he had some injured players. He didn't come with his starting quarterback, his starting running back, his best defensive player. But he brought his team in there ready to play, and he's got them down 3 points just before halftime.
Florida State 4 wideouts for Chris Ricks on a 3rd down and a short 6 at the Buffalo's 14-yard line. Ricks fires complete to PK Sam. I think he's about a foot short. The forward progress. He got lifted up and carried way back to about the 12-yard line, but where he caught the ball is nearer the 9, but I still think he's a football or 2 lengths shy of picking up the 1st down. And you wonder what Bobby Bowden will do right here. Yeah, there's no question. They bring out the field goal unit.
Guys, that was a good play that Florida State called, but I think when you go back and look at it and the coaches take a look at the film, they'll talk to the receiver, tell them make sure you get your depth.
He just came back too far.
Yeah, just a little bit, and he's coming back to the ball. It's got to stop before he crosses that mark.
Xavier Beitia will stay warmed up and turn around away from his 26-yard field goal that's upcoming. You know, I think with Bobby, this is a couple of things here. This is only 2 feet to go, and in some circumstances he might say, dadgummit, let's go for it. But I think he wants to give his kicker a little bit of confidence, because there's going to be a lot bigger games. Not that this isn't a big one. There'll be bigger games down the line, and I think everybody knows that he missed one against Miami last year that could have beaten the undefeated Hurricanes. This is a 26-yard attempt from the right hash. He hit a 20-yarder earlier. And the kick is up, and it's good. So add 3 for the Noles with 2:13 remaining in the half. And you see the smile. That'll help your confidence a little bit.
Good point. You know, this is it's a long season. This is a long game, and you want to get some points on the board. You don't want to walk away from there without any points just before halftime. And at the same time, it's a chip shot for your field goal kicker. How often do you ask him to make a long one?
Right.
Now just go out there and make a chip shot.
We talked about Florida State and Colorado and who they play. Florida State seems like they've always played tough schedules, even when they were an independent. And everybody wanted to play them, and then they got good. But
and they'd say we'd go anywhere and play anybody at any time. But look at this schedule.
They still do.
Colorado played in the championship game of the Big 12 last year. Miami was in the national championship game. Notre Dame was, what, 10-3, had a great year. And Florida, they're always good. Overall rank is 27th in the nation.
Add that to their ACC schedule, and the ACC's gotten better. And speaking of tough schedules, Colorado State, they just survived that one. That's become a bloodbath in the last 5 years or so. UCLA, Washington State, they split those two. And Florida State, their overall schedule right now is ranked 10th in the country. So neither of these teams is ducking anybody. That's for sure.
Aren't no Division I AA schools on there, or any directional
southeast, northeast.
No directional schools on there.
We know what direction Jeremy Bloom would like to take this kick return if he gets his mitts on it, and he does from about the 13. But this time they've got him all wrapped up. The other kick returner back there with him, I think, came over, and it caused some hesitation.
Yeah, they were talking about it. Said, Jeremy, you want this one or not?
He's been the guy that scored the touchdown as a pass receiver. Gary Barnett now will not have any timeouts, Bob. And I don't know what that does with 2:07, but they got decent field position.
And in college, you know, first downs are a timeout. You know, they stop the clock for first downs, and his quarterback has done well. He's not turned the ball over. He's 8 of 10 for 137 yards, and he's, you know, I'd take a look at it. Up here, he's got single coverage at the top of the screen.
Comes to the near side and completes it to Hackett. Nope, incomplete. That one hit the turf too. Now wait a minute, maybe they are giving it to him. Yes, they are. At the 34. Take it back. Crowd booing. They thought that he trapped the ball. As it is, it's 2nd down and 3.
Greenberg is in charge out there.
Eric throws over the middle, completes this one. Oh, you talk about getting planted. Nice tackle. Michael Boulware with a form job on the receiver. And it's going to be 3rd down and about a yard. You see the clock running. It would stop if they get a first down here. To the ground game they go, and they've got a first down. And a fumble. Knocked away from behind, and Florida State's got it.
That was a good play by the defender.
Boulware, I think, is the guy that took a swipe at the ball and got it. The Noles have it back with 1:11 to go in the half. That was a first down run.
Well, I couldn't see who got it, but one of the defenders came upfield and went back.
Take another look. There's the hit from behind. That might be Emmanuel.
Is that Emmanuel, 90?
Kind of hard to see. It's 95. It's Wembley, and he's had a good half. Wembley's the guy that caused the fumble.
That was a good play coming back. I mean, you can't practice those things. I mean, how often are you going to come back in that situation? That's just good coaching.
Let's see if Florida State can take advantage. Ricks getting some pressure. I don't know how he got out of that one, and he hit his man, but he dropped it. Dominique Robinson would have been a big play on a broken play.
Ricks did a great job of avoiding all the danger back there in the backfield and getting the ball downfield. And Dominic just drops it.
You know, Chris had that one bad throw that slipped off his hand trying to get one in the end zone. Other than that, he's had 2 or 3 drops today. His numbers already good, would be even better. He's 16 out of 21 and could easily have been 18 or 19 out of 21.
And his coaches have to be very pleased with the fact that when he does scramble like this, boys, he's still looking downfield to throw the ball, making real smart decisions.
Good point. 2nd and 10 at the 42. Wants to throw a screen to Jones. Jones with blockers in front. But that hole closed in a hurry. Picked up about 5. It'll be 3rd and 5. We're under a minute and a half. Florida State with 1 timeout remaining.
This Colorado defense, Brad, is a nice combination of big guys up front and speed behind them.
So Florida State needs 5 as we're winding down to a half minute here. They need the first down before they can think about a touchdown or anything else. And they're wasting some time here. They're telling Chris Ricks, get the ball snapped. Flares it out to Jones. One-on-one out there, and he's tripped up. Nice open field stop, and I can see why they had Clyde Sorrell back in there as a starter. And remember, he had the bad shoulder earlier, and he makes a nice open field tackle.
I think Florida State is missing the 2 backs that they don't have in there. Lorenzo Booker and Leon Washington, the 2 guys that can make guys miss. Greg Jones has been out there and has been stopped by one-on-one tackles a couple of times. Those other guys might make him miss.
We're about 15 seconds away from halftime. Talking about Lorenzo Booker. He's missed a couple games now with a sprained MCL, and it happened on this particular play. It was against Maryland, and went down and clutched his knee. He'd had 88 yards and a couple of touchdowns on the season. Gets up limping, and they're going to hope to get him back maybe by next game.
He's a redshirt freshman who came out of California, and he was he wasn't the player of the year. He was pretty close to it.
Yeah, his final decision came down between Notre Dame and Florida State. He said he had to go where his heart is, so he came to Florida State. I talked with him just this morning before the game began. He said he's never been hurt before, never had to sit out, and said it's hard for him to do. He's anxious. He wants to get in and play, but he said we've got a great back in Greg Jones. I know if I just take my time and heal up, when I come back, I'll be ready to play.
Yeah, he was averaging over 7 yards a carry before he was hurt. Florida State converted on a 4th and 3 earlier. They've got 4th and 3 here, and they'll go for it in the waning moments of the second quarter. Chris Ricks on the run, now sets and fires. Got a man open. Clip-ons are 4th at the 10. And 4th goes down. It's first down, Florida State. 4 seconds left in the half.
Clock stops until they move the change.
And they have 1 timeout to use. They can just spike it here and bring out their field goal unit. First and goal at the 10. Chris Ricks up under center. There's the spike. The clock stops. Should be 1 second left.
So
it shows 0-0 on the scoreboard.
Well, that's not a home team clock guy, is it?
Not at all. Yeah, now it's back to 2:28, and it isn't that either.
Yeah.
There's 1 second, possibly 2 left.
If you've got a timeout, you take it. You got a timeout, you got to take it. I mean, why not take it?
Exactly. So this will be a 27-yard field goal attempt. John and Terry and Craig will be at Times Square Stadium in New York for the Valvoline halftime show after this kick. Xavier Betia, 27-yarder, got it. So the fumble recovery for Florida State turns into 3 points for them as the halftime comes to a close. Let's go down to Lynn Swann.
Well, Coach, you came into the ball game making no excuses about injuries. Your guys have played tough, with the exception of a couple of plays. You'd be up in this ball game. What's a message you delivered to this football team at halftime?
Well, it's going to be the same I delivered before the game started. I said, you give them, after the first 20 minutes of this game, everything evens out. And they're just guys like our guys are. Now it comes down to who's playing best and who's going to make plays. And that's just what it's going to come down to here the rest of this game.
Quick assessment of your quarterback, how he's playing in the ball game.
Well, I think he's playing well. You know, he's made a couple really good throws and good adjustments. And so I'm really proud of all those guys.
Thanks, Coach. Brad?
All right, so Colorado, 1 touchdown strike and an 81-yard pass, but it's Florida State at intermission at home, leading 16-7. John Terry and Pony will be at Times Square Stadium for a Valvoline halftime show after this.
Chiron Carey said, I'm a little guy, but I got big boy talent, and he showed it right here. What a run.
In 1969, the legend of Gatorade embarked on an historic journey from the swamp of Gainesville to the battle-hardened turf of the NFL. The baby back ribs weren't the only thing getting basted in the heat of Kansas City.
E.J. Hollop, the toughest guy on the team, kept running out of gas.
It was hotter than a Texas tamale. Salvation came in the ring of a phone.
Ray Graves called me. He was a good friend.
Ray Graves of the Florida Gators said his players were drinking this stuff called Gatorade.
That Gatorade really did the job. It was like liquid gold.
Come on, Lenny! Against the heavily favored Vikings in Super Bowl IV, the Chiefs emerged victorious. And the rest is history.
There's no better way to rehydrate athletes.
And today, Gatorade is on every sideline, every down, every game. From boys to men, from one generation to the next, the games never end. And the legend continues.
Wrangler 5-star premium quality denim. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
The Valvoline Halftime Show, brought to you by Valvoline's Max Life, who reminds you at 75,000 miles, it's time to switch to Max Life. From Times Square, New York, John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
Welcome back to the Valvoline Halftime Show, as once again we take a look at our new running back. Craig James, the Pony, joins us. John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James. We've had our coach here for a while. Now we've got a running back. Welcome.
Well, it's good to be here. You know what? I'm here, really. I feel like I'm representing all these Auburn fans. They've sent me these emails for things that possible thoughts I might have for you. I don't understand.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you. Back then, I can imagine. Of course, with Dickerson, I don't think much happened for you. Not much good, I would imagine.
It's good to show that I actually did get to play when he was there.
Yeah, once in a while. We're going to hear more from these guys in a moment. Actually, a very pointed discussion. In fact, Terry Bowden was back in the news this week over some comments he made off the record a couple of years ago. Comments that raised many more questions than they answer. Here's John Berman of ABC News.
L over motion, 46.
In Terry Bowden's first season at Auburn, the Tigers went 11-0.
Touchdown,
a perfect record. But was it a clean one? In a 2-year-old interview published this week, Bowden says when he arrived at Auburn, boosters were paying players as much as $15,000, a scheme he tried to stop. Bowden, an ABC Sports analyst, says that interview was off the record and won't or can't say anything now about the Auburn program.
In your first year there, were players getting money from fans?
There are certain things I cannot talk about at Auburn because of the settlement that I signed with Auburn. There's certain things that I cannot talk about.
The university called the interview old news. Auburn also said Bowden signed documents while he was coach there, certifying that Auburn was clean.
If Auburn had been in violation of NCAA policy while you were coach there, would you have been lying by signing these documents?
Yes, I would have. I'd have been lying.
Did you lie while you were coach at Auburn?
I would say there's certain things that I'm under contract and legal agreement not to talk about.
Again, Bowden has said that he straightened out the program. The NCAA will not say whether it has or will investigate Auburn again. The problem of overzealous boosters seems pervasive in big-time college sports. Chris Webber is still dealing with payments he received at Michigan, and someone gave Maurice Clarett that car to drive that got him in so much trouble.
It's about bragging rights. It's for that booster to be able to sit at the cocktail party with his buddies and say, you see that kid? I'm the reason that kid is going to XYZ University.
Fans who will do anything to win. The question is, are colleges and the NCAA doing enough to stop them? John Berman, ABC News, New York.
Terry, it's very clear as you watch that interview, you're put in a very uncomfortable situation because of that agreement you have at Auburn.
Yeah, it was a very difficult interview because I was limited about what I could say.
Well, let me say this. The thing about the interview, 15 grand wouldn't have got many good players from my era. I know that part about it. But, you can't control these boosters. These guys are out there, and they're out. If they're at a party or a function with a player, and they come up and shake your hand, and they give you some money, you can't control that. There's no way a coach can say, hey, watch everything that you're doing out there.
Greg, you can control the boosters. You look at that booster, you look at your boosters, and tell your boosters, sir, if you do anything to my players, you give them anything, not only will I kick you out of the office, you'll never come around the office, you'll never talk to my players. You've got to tell the boosters that.
That sounds practical, but reality is this. We've got to get to a zero-tolerance place where the coach knows, the player knows, if I give you money or if I take money, then I'm never going to coach again in the college athletic world, and I'm not going to play any longer in that world. If that comes to that zero-tolerance policy, we got a chance.
Greg, now listen, I do think that most coaches feel that if they do something wrong and they get NCAA violations on a school, they're going to lose their job and they're probably not going to coach again. I think it comes down to the morals of the coach. Am I going to do this? Am I going to make this move and cheat to win? Am I going to set this example for my players? Because face it, if you're a football coach and the first thing you teach a kid to do is cheat, I mean, what else can you teach him? What else can you teach a player as a football coach?
As a coach, and you're sitting here because of it, you had a standard, and you were living to that standard. And that standard got you a seat right here because those boosters control, with their money going into those universities, what they want to have happen and what not happen.
Well, I just think you have to do it. I think you have to go to the boosters and tell them that they can't do this and it's your responsibility. I don't care what your profession is. There's a right thing and a wrong thing to do. And believe me, not every program, not every coach is doing it.
That's right. It's not as bad as it used to be.
But it is still going on today, and we've seen the case in point. What's happening at Baylor, what's going on all around the country. It's going to be a problem that's going to have to be dealt with for years to come. This is the Valvoline Halftime Show. We'll continue with more from Times.
All a touchdown-type play, or is he going to try to settle for a field goal here to close out the half?
1 minute to go, 3rd and 7.
Biggest play of the first half right here, 3rd and 7.
Blitz down the middle for Milner, incomplete. Had him. Little high, little strong.
Eric Alexander with the blitz. He got victimized on the pass play, but this time watch 27 get in there and put a shot on the quarterback. He's unblocked. He takes a direct path to David Green, and he puts a shot on him right under the chin.
Oh, boy. Now Billy Bennett for the 4th time. This from 36 yards out. He has missed from 43 and 42. A career 78% field goal kicker. Off the upright.
Nobody will be happier to go to the locker room in 44 seconds than Billy Bennett. I mean, he'll go.
Of high academic standards and intellect, of classic athletic competition, and of vision and courage. Throughout the years and decades, that tradition has continued, unbroken. The Atlantic Coast Conference, a tradition of excellence, then, now, and always.
When the Navy sought a power source for a new generation of ship, we had the right energy. When the nation called for better hurricane forecasting, conditions here were perfect. And when a life-saving cancer drug was in short supply, we had the right chemistry. How fast do ideas move? At the speed of imagination. Florida State University. Ideas that move.
And at Times Square Stadium, John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James, as we run down the day's scores and highlights. You have to go all the way back to 1985.
I think the thing they got to look out for the second half, though, is the heat and the humidity.
Right.
I think that's going to fall in the favor of Florida State. They're used to it, and they've got a lot of players to put in the ball game.
They had 2 10-play drives that came up empty on missed field goals. Meanwhile, Bobby Bowden's team got a fumble recovery in the waning moments of the second quarter. Then Chris Ricks went to work and hit Crefonzo Thorpe down around the 10-yard line. That led to the kick just at the end of the second quarter, and thus their 9-point lead, 16-7. Eberhardt, who missed those field goals, has got it teed up. He hit the upright with one and just wide right, had plenty of distance on the other one. Antonio Cromartie, the freshman, and Crofonzo Thorpe, the guy that has Florida State's touchdown, are deep to return. Cromartie had a thought. He's about 3 yards deep. He'll take a knee, and Florida State will work from the 20-yard line as we check in with Lynn.
Well, Brad, I talked to the coach Bowden on the sideline, and he said he wants to come out here in this second half. First thing he wants to do is throw the football, move it down, and score. He says we got a 2-touchdown lead here, but a 2-score lead, but we want a 3-score lead. He wants to get the Buffaloes tired. He wants to wear them down. He said intentionally. He said once we wear them down, they'll probably blitz a lot more, so we have to be on the lookout for that. But he thinks he can wear them down in the second half and then take advantage of them.
All right, so we'll see if they go with a no huddle to try to do that in part. They'll work from the 20. Play action. Ricks, plenty of time. Chris throws it complete. Ooh, what a hit on Willie Reed right there. Put on by J.J. Billingsley as we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary and the statistics from the first 2 quarters here in Tallahassee. Some good looking numbers, especially for the passing game of Florida State.
Well, look here, the field goals, the difference, the Florida State's making theirs and the Buffaloes are not. Time of possession about the same. And the turnover, that one led to the field goal for Florida State just before the half. But possession, total yardage about the same.
On a 2nd and 7, the quick snap out to P.K. Sam for the first down at about the 32-yard line. Offensive leaders in that first half. Chris Ricks had a sensational first half.
227 yards passing, another 17 yards rushing, and Thorpe was the leading receiver with the 1 big touchdown.
So now the first down throw out to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Florida State, opening drive, 3rd quarter. Ricks fires far side, another strike to Thorpe. Those numbers for Crofonzo are going to keep getting better.
Well, we go back to what we said coming into the ball game, that Ricks should have a big day along with his wide receivers, because they play a lot of man coverage on the outside. Does Colorado? You play defensive back in this secondary, you better be pretty good on that corner.
6 for 129 for Crofonzo Thorpe, including the touchdown catch, and he's got it just on the Florida State side of midfield.
Again, no huddle. Ball, just line up the line of scrimmage.
This time they'll run it. Willie Reed cuts outside. Nice stiff arm by Reed. Down the sideline and knocked out of bounds. No, he's still on his feet. I thought he went out at the 30, but he didn't. All the way down to the 13-yard line. Boy, how did he tightrope that sideline?
Well, you got the problem that was with the Buffaloes last week have just come back. The poor tackling. Joseph, number 1, he doesn't make the tackle. And then you just have to push him out of bounds. Oh, was that Moore? He didn't get him out.
The crossover step, I don't even know how you get your feet that way for Willie Reed, especially when you're going that fast, and he avoided going out of bounds. And a 38-yard career-long run.
See, Willie Reed made a run that Greg Jones probably couldn't have made. He tried to get around the corner, wasn't quick enough.
So Florida State doing what Swanee said Bobby Bowden wanted him to do, get down in scoring range and do something with it. This time they're stopped, though. Willie Reed put down by Sean Tufts, a tough linebacker.
Brad, I'm going to have to do a little homework on Willie Reed. That move on down the sideline, he must have been a dancer like me.
I think so. It was a little ballerina thing, Swanee.
Yeah, that's you know, a little tap dance move, a little jazz move. You know, I could do that move when I was younger, and maybe he was a dancer.
It really didn't look possible,
all
even
right,
on the replay.
Two. All right.
Yeah.
Just
2nd down and 10.
Tap-toeing and dancing and stuff.
Greasy's a square dancer from Purdue. Dozy-do. Ricks throws. P.K. Sam off his fingertips as he's sandwiched between 2 defenders, incomplete. Chris Ricks had hit his last 6 passes. That one had a lot on it, and it was a little bit high, and Sam couldn't hold it.
Chris is, like I said, he's in his 4th year here. He's a 3rd year, he's a 4th year junior. And you know, that was wide open. Those are the types of things that he needs to hit consistently. He's having a good day, but consistently he's missing some of the things he should be hitting.
3rd down and 10 from the Buffalo's 13-yard line. Swings it out of the backfield, and that one's only going back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard gain for James Coleman. And Beitia will come out to try another field goal. So Colorado gave up some big chunks and then stiffened defensively when they had to, and they'll force a field goal attempt.
The mark of a good offense is scoring once you get inside the 20-yard line, or the red zone as it's popularly called, and they have not done that. They have settled for field goals now if they make this one on 4 of their last 5 possessions.
Beitia will try a 29-yarder, hit a 27-yarder on the last play of the second quarter. And the kick on the way, and it's good. So they don't get 7, which Bobby Bowden was hoping for, but they did take it down the field and tack on 3 more. 4th field goal of the game for Beitia. It's 19-7 Noles.
On CBS. Second half coming up from Baton Rouge.
Hey, you got that ordinary untoasted sub instead of the toasted Philly?
Now you can quit quickly and effortlessly without the agony of withdrawal.
It's safe. It's
7-20, the Herd's first ever win over a ranked opponent. So the Wildcats' streak of 41 straight home non-conference wins is dust. So are their national title hopes. You don't lose to a team in the MAC and win the national championship. The Thundering Herd lost to Toledo last week. Today they knock off the number 6 team in the land at their place.
Bobby Bowden says his Noles are vulnerable. The Colorado Buffaloes roam into Tallahassee, and this is just a week after Florida State had all kinds of problems with Georgia Tech. Not so many problems with Colorado here. Chris Ricks to Crefonzo Thorpe for 37, puts FSU up 7 squad. Second quarter, it's 10-0.
And he's up.
It looks like he's going to be all right.
Outback's curbside takeaway. Call up, pull up, then enjoy the great taste of Outback anywhere.
In football town, I know my team needs me.
And without my boys, the game could be lost. In football town,
I know it can make a difference.
I know fans can win the game. I've seen it. I've felt it. I've tasted it. Oh, yeah! I know. You make the game.
Sunday, the new drama that's being called attention-grabbing. A surprise of the season. Threat Matrix and Encore premieres Sunday 8/7 Central on ABC.
It's a bye week for the surprising Carolina Panthers, so Chris Weinke has a chance to come back where he matriculated into a Heisman Trophy winner here at Florida State, signing some autographs for the crowd.
I talked to him before the ball game, and
we're probably talking golf. You
I
two.
told him, no, I said, just hang in there. I said, you know, you don't have to, you know, you're not going to make your whole professional career in your first 2 or 3 years. Down the road, he may be somewhere and play a lot of football.
About 7 yards deep. Wheatley will not bring out Beatty's kick, so Zaviad's done a nice job. Career high for him that last field goal. He's got 4 on the game.
He's probably the only guy that's happy about those field goals.
Well, that's probably true, yeah. Offensive stars for Colorado. Eric Greenberg making his first start certainly didn't disappoint anybody.
He's done well. Calhoun 85 yards rushing, like you mentioned, on those 2 big runs mainly.
And Bloom, the 1 touchdown that they have on an 81-yard reception.
9 of his 10 completions have been to wide receivers.
Calhoun, here's a guy that did the early damage on the first drive, and Darnell Dockett stops him for a loss. Another tackle for loss for the guy that leads the Seminoles in that category, as he passed Ron Simmons last year. And I think he's had at least 2 tackles for loss today. I think he's up around 54 for his career.
At least, yeah. 4-year starter. They said his attitude has changed completely. The first couple of years, last year and the year before, you can tell only 7 7 tackles for loss last year, all year, what he had the first 2 seasons. But his attitude is much better this year, and one of the team leaders.
As I said, you can tack 2 more onto the total he has today, so 54 in his career. That'll be a hard one to match for anybody. B.J. Ward makes a stop on Brian Calhoun. Darnell Dockett was suspended last year for the Sugar Bowl, as you might remember. We did that game as Florida State played Georgia. And then he was banned from spring practice, too. Got himself in some trouble, had to do some community service, and he spent a month out as part of trash pickup duty for Darnell, and came back a new man, as Bobby Bowden even has had him talk to the team before the game. And as Bob said, the attitude changed the whole thing, and plus he's the player now they expected him to be. Incomplete on a pass intended for Ron Monte. And Colorado didn't do much with that. They've got to give it up. Colorado had 5 of their 7 possessions started at the 20-yard line or worse. They started at their 20 there, and they only got it to the 27.
Well, the last 4 possessions, well, the last 3 possessions, they've been 3 and out, and one of them was a fumble.
Chris Davis, the redshirt freshman, number 5, waiting on John Torp's punt. Florida State really hasn't gone after Torp so far today. And Florida State takes a timeout, so we'll take one with them. 11 minutes, 10 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. Florida State leading Colorado by 12.
On the defense, the penalty be 5 yards, remain 2nd down.
David Green's very good at this. He uses a hard count. It's kind of a freeze count to try to draw an offsides penalty, and if they get it, they take the snap quickly and he takes a knee. If they don't get it, then they check to a play at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and short. Jeremy Thomas, the fullback. A rare carry. That's only his 3rd of the season, but he gets a 1st down.
I think this is a very important series for the Georgia offense. I don't think it's the key to the game, but I think it's important for them physically to assert themselves, because right at the end of the first half, I thought LSU kind of...
Hey, Don! Hey, what's up? You going to Tommy's party? I can't. I'm working. Oh, break.
The Dodge SXTs, 4 cool cars, and you won't have to work 2 jobs just to buy one.
Don, you made it!
I like your hat.
Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
For our lowest rate on a great car, go thrifty.com.
With Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan, Brad Nessler back with you. Doak Campbell Stadium, where Colorado's 3 and out again. John Torp has done a nice job punting today. I'm surprised Florida State hasn't put more heat on them. They're, over the years, have been a great team at blocking kicks. High snap here. Handles it well. Chris Davis waits at the 28. Davis put down at about the 37 as we check in Times Square Stadium in New York. Here's John.
And the Verizon Wireless update, UCLA no match for Oklahoma today. Jason White having a great day. Tosses this one 22 yards. Lance Donnelly takes it in for the touchdown and a 35-10 lead for the Sooners.
Nice to see Jason White
after 2 knee injuries playing that well.
Yeah, playing well.
Here Chris Ricks has played well for Florida State. And he'll work from the shotgun at the 38-yard line. Quick pass, quick reception. PK Sand dragged out of bounds as he got about 9. We check in with Swanee.
Well, I'm with Charlie Ward. Charlie, it's been 10 years since you've been on the sideline throwing the ball, winning the Heisman Trophy. Does it look any different to you?
No, not much. I mean, except for the stands, a lot more people. But for the most part, football is football, hitting and catching and throwing, and it's been good.
10 years ago, you put the Heisman Trophy in your back pocket. You've had a successful career with the New York Knicks. I don't think I know the answer, but any regrets not having played football?
No, not at all. I mean, healthy as possible right now, and I'm going on my 10th year in the NBA, and I'm grateful, for the opportunity to do that. And I don't miss football at all.
Well, I know you enjoy watching your team occasionally play, so we'll let you get back to doing that.
All right, thanks, Lynn.
Thank you, Charlie.
Charlie Ward, who said he was more happy to come back today to have his 3-year-old son Caleb come with him to experience what Doak Campbell Stadium's all about. As Dominic Robinson with the pass reception from Ricks is a first down at the 35. Ricks back to the air. PK Sam puts his hand down, keeps his balance, might have another first down. So now it's Florida State's passing offense getting in gear again with 10 minutes to go, third quarter.
And they're doing it primarily without a huddle, as you see when Chris gets up there, and that's everybody get to the line of scrimmage. That's what he's waving his hand for. Now he waves to the side. They're giving him the signal. There's no rush. This is just a tempo thing. It's a rhythm thing. Rather than getting in the huddle and calling the play and breaking the huddle, this is just another way of doing it.
Still has 15 seconds on the play clock. Here comes a blitz from the secondary. And a loss on this play of 3 or 4. Medford Moore came flying in there.
A nice changeup. It's a nice changeup by Vince O'Crew. Everybody, the offense is worrying about. Take a look here. The linebackers are just going to come blitzing from up the middle. That's Moore from the free safety spot and the other outside linebacker. But this is nice for the defense. Just don't sit back and let them do what they want. Mix it up a little bit.
Reed and Dean flanking Ricks in the shotgun, and penalty markers down. And a busy officiating crew today.
Start offense. 5 yards. Still third down.
So it's going to be third down and long now. 5th penalty against Bobby Bowden's team.
Boys, just a quick update in terms of Kendall Pope. He's on the sideline. The linebacker will not be back in the second half. But good news, Bob Meeks, number 73, has been very productive on the offensive line. He hasn't come out except for one time in the first half. So they're getting a lot of work out of the young man who's worried about his asthma.
He'll be blocking for Chris Ricks here, and they're going to bring heat from the secondary again, it appears, on the blitz. Quick throw to the outside of Davis. Davis put a nice move on, but he got stuck right in the chest by
tackle.
Clyde Sorrell.
Sorrell will say, hey, coach, how you like that tackle? Yeah, he says, I haven't been in there. I need to get these in here to show how these guys how to tackle a little bit. Ricks did a nice job of seeing the blitz, getting rid of the ball to Davis. Davis not very big now. He tries to put a few moves on that. Oh,
man.
Should have put another one on.
He's put some open field stops on today like we haven't seen for a while.
Boys, at fourth down, the offensive lineman players on the field were signaling over to the sideline, telling the coaches, we want to go for it on fourth down. The coaches shouldn't normally give in to emotional players, but fourth down, they're going for it.
Yeah, they're 2 for 2 today, Swanee. We'll see if they pick up another long 2 here. Ricks, the toss, might be an end around to Thorpe. Now he needs a block. He won't get there. Dropped way back by Billingsley. That's the play they ran on the first snap last week against Georgia Tech. It picked up 16 yards, but they fumbled. They tried it here, a little dipsy-do on 4th and 2, and they don't get it.
Yeah, see, I don't like this play, because you're trying to trick somebody. The defense is going to be up there. The defense is going to be up here, just coming across as hard as they can. It's going to be a toss this way. You're trying to fool somebody with the reverse right here. Now it's coming back. Look at all these guys coming back the other way.
Credit Colorado's defense for staying home, staying in their lanes. Big loss on the play, and now their offense takes over at its own 37-yard line. Calhoun slipped again. He's had some trouble with his footing today. He's had some nice runs, but he has fallen down before contact, I'd say 3 times already today.
Well, that's his MO. He likes to stop and start. He's a slasher, and he gets through the hole, and then he cuts and breaks and goes around. He's not a power runner.
He's facing a lot of traffic, and Womble, number 91, has been stopping him a lot. Watch this play. He gets tripped here on that one by his own quarterback.
Yeah. Get that quarterback out of the way.
2nd down, 11. This time he goes straight ahead, puts both arms around the ball, and has Darnell Dockett for one draped all over him, along with Jerome Carter.
And incidentally, that is the quarterback's fault. Quarterback needs to get his feet out of the way after he hands the ball off to the runner to give him as much room as he might need. Now, you know, Greenberg is just in there for the first time this week. He may not have been working with Calhoun a lot.
You didn't get out of Zonka's way to break your ankle.
Just stayed out of those. I get the way out of their way.
Down to 6:35, third quarter.
Greenberg wasn't in that dance class, was he?
I don't think so. He may have to dance a little bit here. 3rd and 8. Florida State's defense pins its ears back, and here they come. Hit as he throws, and incomplete. He should have danced all night. He'll feel that one tomorrow. How about the game Cameron Wembley's had? He's the guy that caused a fumble earlier that led to a field goal. He had a big tackle for loss earlier and a sack. And the 4th straight time the drive ends without a first down for Colorado, courtesy of that hit.
Yeah, that's, you know, a little bit of that is Greenberg's fault. He got deep and he didn't step up in the pocket. Now you got to feel when those ends are coming around. Now the tackles have got to block the defensive ends, but he could have helped it by stepping up into the pocket.
Dominic Robinson, number 21, back deep. Torp to kick. And the left footer hangs it high. Robinson from the 24. Up the middle and to about the 34. 10-yard return of a 38-yard punt. 6 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Still Florida State leading 19-7.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Celia Cruz, the queen of salsa. Queen of the salsa, like Dr. Pepper. Her inspiration is a light, and it's burning bright. The taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, loves individuality, and gets my personality. Do what you do. Be you, nothing's better than Dr.
Welcome to the meeting that's nothing like a meeting. No travel, no downtime, just pure collaboration. Microsoft Office Live Meeting, a new service that lets you collaborate with groups small to large. Hold impromptu discussions to high-profile presentations, all with just a phone, PC, and an internet connection. So no matter where you are, it's as if you're all at the same table.
Comedy rules on ABC Tuesday, when the season premiere of According to Jim
That was my lipstick.
breaks all the rules. That was my wallet. ABC Tuesday at 9/8 Central.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. And Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. Line of scrimmage will not be the 20, the 34-yard line. That's where Florida State will work with 6:13 remaining here in the third quarter. They lead 19-7. Xavier Beitia with a career-high 4 field goals. Chris Ricks with a touchdown strike to Crefonzo Thorpe. Gary Barnett's only score came in on an 81-yard pass play from Eric Greenberg to Jeremy Bloom. That's where we stand here in the third. Greg Jones back in the tailback spot. He hasn't gotten much work today. They fake it to him here. Ricks loads and fires long for Thorpe. Got him out there and got him. Touchdown. "66 yards. Ricks to Thorpe for the second time today.
If you're an offensive receiver or a quarterback, you love this type of defense.
Extra point coming up. Beitia try to make it 26-7, and he does. One play, 66 yards in 12 seconds. Boy, they have hooked up with two of the prettiest passes you ever want to see.
Well, you love it if you're an offensive person. There's single coverage on this receiver, single on this one, and single out here. That's where Thorpe is going to go down and just run straight past him. Bottom of your screen, just a speed route straight down the field. This is a great throw. Doesn't break stride, takes it into the end zone. I mean, you know, if you're an offensive guy, you just love days like this. I mean, there's other times when there's 3 deep zone and you can't get behind them and they're dropping everybody off. But then there are days like this where there's single coverage and you just play pitch and catch.
Alphonso Thorpe's got 7 catches, 195 yards, and 2 perfect passes from that guy. 28 completions for Chris Ricks is a career high.
These types of days will build your confidence.
Oh, I guess. Ricks has hit 12 of his last 13 passes. You saw 365 yards. And 2 that you can't even do that in practice with nobody covering you.
Yeah.
That's how good they were. Bloom waits on Badia's kick. And another deep kick. Another touchback. Good kickoff by Xavier Bethia. So Colorado will have to work from its own 20-yard line. We asked you earlier our singular poll question, which school should be ranked #1 this week, and gave you 5 options there. And Oklahoma and Michigan tied. I don't know if the folks aren't watching the Oregon-Michigan game or not. I'm not sure. But there's the percentages. You can still vote. 32% between the Wolverines.
How about you, partner? Who'd you vote for?
I'd vote for Oklahoma.
I think that right now, at this time of the year, I'd vote for Oklahoma.
Trojans, Trojans, Trojans.
Okay, Swanee. Greenberg trying to go deep on the sideline. And not quite a heck of a attempt by Calhoun. Incomplete. B.J. Ward was covering. And Colorado now finds itself in that situation worse than what Swanee even talked about with Bobby Bowden. They were worried about a 2-score deficit. And since 8 minutes remain in the second quarter, they haven't even gotten a first down. The Bloom touchdown was the one big play that they have on the scoreboard, 81-yarder. That's it. Second down at 10. Defense playing with a lead now. That can be dangerous if you're against Florida State. Pass over the middle is complete. On the run, DJ Hackett. Hackett, nice move to the outside, got around Ward. And then Hall runs him out of bounds. It'll be a first down for Colorado after we check in with John Saunders in New York.
Well, Brad, the Michigan Wolverines finally getting some offense going. John Navarro here finds Jason Avant 23 yards. I'm not quite sure he actually got this one in. The refs give it to him, but Oregon has the ball back, and they are on the 10-yard line, threatening to score again. 24-13 Ducks.
The Pac-10 right now leading the Big Ten in that one. The ACC leading the Big 12 in this one with 5:50 remaining in the third quarter. First down at the 38. Gunning it is Greenberg, and Calhoun couldn't hold it.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Greenberg for his first start.
Yeah.
You know, he's made a bunch of good decisions. He's thrown the ball on target. He's gotten the ball to his guys that can make some plays on the outside. This is a tough defense. Florida State defensively came 10th in the nation in total defense, 5th against scoring defense. So, you know, this defense, it only allowed 1 touchdown coming in. And Greenberg's done a nice job.
Faces second down at 10 at the 38. Florida State showing blitz, and now they back out of that. Nicholson had jumped up in the gaps. Screen pass to Calhoun. Broke 1 tackle, cuts outside, got a first down. Shifty Brian Calhoun goes for 12 yards and a first down. Colorado right at midfield. 5 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Florida State 2 long touchdown passes from Chris Ricks to Crefonzo Thorpe. 4 field goals, a career high for Xavier Beitia, and they lead Colorado the Big 12 26-7 here with just over 5.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Bobby Bowden looking for win number 336, and I believe Penn State lost today, didn't they?
I didn't hear.
I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but he's only 2 behind Joe Paterno as flags go down on the play. Penn State won today. I stand corrected. So that means that Joe Paterno, who said this week, he says Bobby Bowden getting closer to him, only 2 games behind in the win column. He says, that sneaky little rascal. Call him a sneaky little rascal. But he said, you know what, when it's all said and done, if I end up with it or Bobby ends up with it, at least Bobby is a good friend of mine, and I'd love to see him be the guy if it wasn't me. Now that's active winning percentage. That's not what we're talking
we
about
don't want
here.
Percentage. We want number of wins.
And for Bobby Bowden, if he can go on to win this, it'll be 336. Joe Pa won today, so 338. 2 of the legends, who've both passed Bear Bryant, of course.
A couple of nice guys there too, huh?
Oh boy. And we've had a chance in the last 2 weekends to spend a lot of time with both of them. You cherish every one of those moments. They're very different. They're very, very funny individuals in their own right.
In their own way.
And the stories you hear,
Joe,
I wish we could share all of them.
Joe in his jacket and tie in his hotel room, sitting there telling stories, and Bobby on his tower at practice, both in their own element in their different ways.
First down, Calhoun. Boy, nice play defensively. Looked like he was going to get a little seam. And I'm telling you, Wembley, a kid is playing unbelievable at defensive end. A 6'4" sophomore, only about 235 pounds. Great speed. That's what Florida State likes with their defensive linemen.
Watch the play that he makes. He's going to come upfield, and then he's going to come back and get involved in trying to strip the ball carrier of the ball. He goes up play field, and then he sees it.
Wow.
Now he comes back right there and gets a piece of it.
Perfect spin move to get away from the would-be blocker and make the stop. 8 tackles for Wembley today. Second down and 17. End around, Bloom going down. Guess who?
These are the backup defensive linemen. Wembley is a backup to Eric Moore.
Right on cue.
Yeah, he doesn't get to play that often, but when I'm in there, he says, I'm doing the best I can. He's just a sophomore. Top of your screen. He sees it coming. Does a nice job of playing his responsibility.
Sam Wilder's got his hands full over there.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to block this guy. Third down and a mile.
This is the 6th time it's been third and more than 10 yards.
Greenberg, look out from behind. He got rid of it and almost intercepted. Leroy Smith was back there, made a diving attempt at it. And they'll have to give it up again.
The way Wembley came off the stadium, boys, it appears that, Greenberg came off the field. It appears that Wembley got enough of them just to make him stretch out that neck a little bit.
Wembley had one of the great series we've seen in a while from a defensive player on those snaps, forcing a 4th down. Busy punter today is Trop. Torp knocks it out of bounds. A beautiful kick down to the 9-yard line. Right now, time to take a look at our Dodge defensive playbook, Bob.
All right, let's see if I can do this.
All right.
What the offense would like is the big offensive lineman on the defensive lineman, just like this. That's what the offense would like. What the defense would like is for the defensive lineman to be on the lineman and get one free guy coming up on the back. Now, you see the defensive line. Go ahead and run it. The defensive lineman there comes up on a running back. That's unfair. The offensive line would like to have the big guy on that, but the defense like to run their schemes where they can get all the offensive linemen on somebody else and get a big defensive lineman free.
Chris Ricks zips it out. PK Sam, 10th catch of the day. Out to the 31. So what you're saying is you don't mind big guys on big guys. You don't like a big guy on a little guy.
Just give me a fair chance.
All right.
If I'm a quarterback, I mean, I don't want my little running back blocking a big defensive end. We've seen too many of those guys here today doing too much destruction. I'm an offensive guy. I root for whatever offense is on the field.
Right now, the Colorado corners might be saying to Chris Ricks, just give us a chance. PK Sam and Crefonzo Thorpe are putting up career numbers. And Ricks just keeps on slinging it. Back to throw again. Out to Jones out of the backfield. Greg trying to get the corner and got to almost the 35-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. Time permitting, remind you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. John Terry and Craig will have scores and highlights from around the country. Here with 3 minutes left in the third, it's 26-7. And a 2nd down and 7 coming up. Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator for Florida State.
He's loving this, isn't he?
He is.
He's loving it. He likes working with those young guys.
They've only given up 2 touchdowns now in 3 games and almost 3 quarters of football this year. Ricks, his safety valves out of the backfield. And short of the first down, it appears, by about a yard, as B.J. Dean. Beg your pardon, that was James Coleman. Ricks has hit his last 8 passes. Vince O'Crew is looking for some kind of defense to stop that. Almost 400 yards for Chris Ricks.
I could have predicted that today.
You did, actually.
I think I did, yes.
And Chris was only hoping that it would be what he had seen in practice on film and what they'd worked on, and it has been that and then some for him.
We had a little conversation yesterday, and he was kind of smiling, and I relayed something about one of the Super Bowls I had played in, that I only hope that when the Vikings come out to play, they're in the same defense we've seen. And he says, that's about the way I feel about this team tomorrow.
The Vikings had 2 weeks to get ready and didn't change anything, and you were ready for it.
Well, of course, you know, when you get to the Super Bowl, you're not going to change anything. You do what's got you there.
Speaking of NFL football, Monday night, classic showdown between 2 division rivals. The Raiders will take on the Broncos, and after a couple of tough losses at the hands of the Raiders last season, you know, the Broncos are going to be looking for some payback. Monday Night Football, live 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on ABC.
What do you think about Mike Shanahan?
Well, he pulled some skullduggery.
No, I think it was fine.
I do too.
I think you can.
I don't think you have to tell anybody what's wrong with your quarterback.
I think you have to be honest before the game, and you have to be honest after the game. But I think during the game, if it's going to affect the other team's going to hear what you might tell the press, I think you do anything you want during a game.
Old friend of ours, Richie Gannon, you saw his career numbers, and Shannon Sharp, great tight end, who's in his 2nd stint with the Broncos. Those two will be head-to-head on Monday Night Football.
And Jake the Snake is going to be back. Little shoulder separation, little concussion.
I don't think of both of those as little. 3rd down a yard.
As long as it's not your arm.
That's right. Greg Jones with a 1st down run. Let's check in with John in New York.
Brad, the Michigan Wolverines got it going a bit. Big stop here. 4th and goal. The fake field goal. Jared Siegel is stopped at the 2. Wolverines get the ball back, and right now marching the ball deep in Oregon territory, trailing by 11.
Here it's Florida State by 19 with just over 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter with a blitz on. Chris Ricks down the middle. Skipped that one off the hands of Dominique Robinson. And it's incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down at 10. Is that the first one he's missed in a while?
Well, he missed it. Here's the little blitz now. Colorado is coming, mixing it up a little bit, showing the offensive line. See, they got mixed up. The blitzers, they weren't in the right lanes, and one offensive blocker blocked 2 defensive guys.
That one sailed on Chris a little bit. He'd hit his previous 8 consecutive passes.
Maybe it's because they had a little blitz, a little heat on him.
2nd and 10, going long this time for PK Sam. Broken up. Nice job defensively. Terrence Wheatley, a freshman back there, staying with PK Sam. And that one worked with Crefonzo Thorpe earlier. Thorpe has bigger speed than Sam. And still, the battle for the ball went right down to the wire.
You got Wheatley, a true freshman, as you mentioned, in there playing that corner now. He's out there by himself. I mean, you get no help at all.
Nope. Out of Richardson, Texas. And a 3rd down and 10 coming up. So back-to-back incompletion, something we haven't seen many times today, that's for sure. Having the game of his life, Chris Ricks, as far as yardage. And Jones got almost to midfield. J.J. Billingsley brought him down. And finally, Florida State's going to have to punt. That means Jeremy Bloom will get back there, and he's a guy that knows what to do with a punt return.
When I get the ball, I try not to think at all and just react to different colors coming in. Everything happens so fast that, you know, you just hope that when the play's over, you're in the end zone.
Don't think at all.
I like
just
it.
React to colors.
Yeah, to react to colors.
Yeah.
I like that. And that's true.
Florida State has both its gunners up at the top of the screen. Out on the left side.
I bet he's kicking it to the right.
And that's where he'll hang it. And Bloom's going to have to let it go and get out of the way, and it goes in the end zone. Touchback. 51-yard punt, but it'll come out to the 20-yard line. So Florida State will come back out defensively. The last series, it was the Wembley show. All over the place. Not only on that series, but in the first quarter, he came up with a sack that put down the quarterback. Brought down Bloom in the open field. Not many people can do that. And he basically made all 3 plays the last time he was out there on the 3-and-out.
There he is up here.
This time they get him blocked. And the pass incomplete, intended for Derek McCoy. Rufus Brown, B.J. Ward, they were back there in the secondary.
They got some young guys back there. A guy named Cromartie is back there, true freshman. What was we were talking to Mickey Andrews yesterday, and he had some nice things to say
about Cromartie.
About young guys,
yeah,
playing young guys.
In general, you know,
these freshman quarterbacks.
You got to get freshman corners out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get them out and let them wet their pants.
So they got to play.
That's right. Watkins is a sophomore. He's already wet his pants last year.
Yeah.
Cromartie just this season.
Yeah.
Here's Calhoun trying to weave inside.
Last year he told me one about true freshmen. He said, I said, Mickey, I said, you know, you got some great young freshmen. They got a lot of speed. I said, you got to get them out there on the field. He says, these guys are fast. He says, yeah. He says, but if that speed's taking them in the wrong direction, they're just getting further from the ball. If they don't know where they're going.
He's got just about one every time we get together with him. We're starting to think about making a dictionary or thesaurus of terms for Mickey. 3rd down along 4. Colorado needs to get something going, and the pass is high, and it's incomplete.
That's poor throw.
Intended for Hackett. And they've got to give it up again.
Well, Mickey's happy about that.
He's been here almost 20 years.
Yeah.
He's in the USFL, and he's at Florida and Clemson and Northern Alabama.
He's a head coach at Northern Alabama. But, you know, he's a guy that has not gotten many looks at head coaches in the last 5, 10 years. Whereas Mark Richt and Amato at North Carolina, they both, not many guys come around here looking for head coaches, but when they do, when they have, those guys have gone on and become good coaches.
Bad snap. Florida State trying to get on top of it. It might be Wembley. While they're doing this construction out here, why don't they build a statue of this kid? What a half he's had.
Outstanding. Not a bad snap,
no, the snap was good. It was good. Just bobbled.
He backhanded it.
And the man on top of it's number 95. And there's Mickey giving him one on the backside.
Yes, sir.
So a great scoring opportunity for Florida State. And the opportunities look like they're starting to slip away for Gary Barnett's troops. 1st down at the 12-yard line. The pitch to Jones. Jones inside the 10 to about the 1-yard line.
That's the first time that he's really cut it loose. He had knee surgery in the offseason, and just coming back, that was a good run right there.
He might get the first carry of the 4th quarter, too. We played 3 in Tallahassee. At the end of 3, 9th-ranked Florida State 26, Colorado 7. Our presentation of college football will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
I can't sleep, Mom. There are monsters in my closet.
I have an idea. There, honey. Feel safe?
Now the monsters are under the Caravan.
No, they aren't. I'll show you.
Dodge Caravan, a feeling of security no matter what lies ahead.
Told you so.
Sure, let's hide under the minivan. Great idea.
See Monsters, Inc. now on DVD and in the Dodge Caravan. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, and Honda don't match it.
Introducing Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito. It's a little spicy. Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito, packed with shredded chicken, simmered in Mexican spices. It's tasty, filling, and only $1.29. To get your fill of this satisfying thrill, think outside the bun.
The 15th precinct is a hotbed of corruption.
Talking about not generation.
Blues stunning season opener, ABC Tuesday, 10/9 Central.
The kickoff return. Remember, Antonio Perkins had 2 punt returns already in the game for Oklahoma. 42-24, #1 in holding, but special teams continue to be a problem today.
All right, Tim. First down and 10 after that outstanding punt of 51 yards by Eli Kelso. Here's a reverse. Devery Henderson going left. Boy, did Georgia stay home on that one. Bruce Norton was the first to get there. Well, next Saturday, college football on CBS. Our coverage of the Home Depot SEC will begin with the Olympus.
0% financing for 60 months or choose $4,250 cash back. Get 0% or up to $4,250 cash back on F-Series, even Super Crew and Super Duty. Don't miss Ford's authorized clearance. Visit your neighborhood Ford dealer today.
Channel 2 uncovers questionable hiring practices at the local hospital. Thursday at 6.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports Championship Television.
Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew in Tallahassee, where Florida State's dominating the game right now, entering the fourth quarter 26-7, and they're one play away from adding to it. It is first and goal at the Buffalo's 1-yard line. Greg Jones, with his best run of the day, is the guy that got him down to the 1. Let's see if he gets the call here. He will. Touchdown, Florida State.
You call that one, didn't you, partner?
He earned it.
Not only did he earn it, but I think you build the confidence of these players like Chris Rick and the kicker Beatty. Beatty has kicked 4 or 5 field goals today. His confidence has been boosted by this game. Rick's has been boosted by this game. Greg Jones, coming back off that knee surgery, has not really had a really top game this year. Needs to get some confidence back in himself.
4th rushing touchdown of the year from a yard out. There's the big smile, and Beatty's extra point is up and good. It's 33-7. So that was only a 2-play drive. Remember, that followed Wembley's fumble recovery on the bobbled snap by the Colorado punter, and they turn it into points in a hurry. Here it is.
Get the ball to him, get it to him as quickly as you can, get him as deep as you can, let him get a head of steam. 250 pounds, looking for danger.
Speaking of steam, a guy that's been steaming all day on the sideline is Lynn Swan. Swanee.
Oh, that's right. And Coach Bowden talked about wearing out the Colorado Buffalo football team. You know, it's been in the 90s. It could have gotten up into the 120s like that, but it didn't. But Colorado was prepared. Underneath their jerseys, they're wearing something like this. It's called a cool vest. It's got a bladder right here, and they come over to the sideline. Walk with me if you would. And it hooks up right here. They pump it into the side. And here was me earlier. I was a guinea pig. They hooked me up. I could use this. Listen to that air come through. The air comes through about 40 pounds per square inch, and it cools the whole body. You're on this for about 30 seconds or a minute, and when your T-shirt is wet, it really cools down the whole body. You don't have to stay in it all day long, just long enough to get really cool. The Colorado team helped Nike to develop this technology, and they continue to perfect it. It's been a great day here. The sunshine hasn't really affected them, but it has still been steamy most of the day.
Is that cool air or water, Swanee?
It's been cool air,
yeah,
that pumps through. Matter of fact, I'm going to find a way to get one of those on and hook it to my side, make it portable, so I can walk around with my own cool vest.
I tell you what, Chirino,
and the officials too.
Chirino probably wants you to get one of those so you quit chasing around the kitchen table at home, cool you down a little bit. So the kick goes out of bounds. It'll be the 20-yard line now.
They wear that under their shoulder pads. I mean, so you just wear it. When you go back out, obviously the air is not inflated. The thing is not inflated. Come back and pump some more air in.
They need something pumped into their team right now. 33-7. Here's a little hitch, complete to Hackett, and Hackett got about 8. Ernie Sims, the linebacker, made the stop, and Florida State getting an opportunity to use some of their backup people.
Tillman's wearing one.
It almost reminds you of the Matrix Reloaded, you know?
Yeah, right. Plug in.
But they're plugging in cool air, not more information into your brain.
Exactly. Greenberg, quick throw, almost picked off. Stanford Samuels, senior cornerback out of Miami, with the play.
He's been around for a while. This is his 6th year. At a redshirt year.
Florida State's lead in hand right now at 33-7. Anything changes in that game, we'll let you know. But we're going to bring you out some bonus coverage in a moment. Michigan and Oregon in a very tight one. The Wolverines now within 3. We'll get you out to the game in just a moment.
We got a problem up here.
Tower today, and that's close. Now left foot, right foot. What kind of spot's going to get?
You love to have the option of run or pass on 3rd down, and we haven't seen many of those situations today. 3rd down and 2, you can run or throw.
Texas, Ivy League, all 3 of us in college at the same time. We need a way to keep in touch. That won't cost us a lot.
With Singular Family Talk, add a line for just $9.99. Share your minutes nationwide with no long-distance charges. Right now, get up to 4 Nokia phones.
We call it our more money for books. Yeah, right. Books plan.
Add a line for $9.99. Another reason why Singular fits you best.
What do you think? It's perfect. That's exactly what I want.
What?
Except bigger.
What do you mean bigger?
Something really pops the eye. Maybe rubies alternating with the sapphires. More stones. Pave diamonds all the way around.
Life's little expenses. Another good reason to keep your car around. That's why at 75,000 miles, switch to Valvoline's Max Life. Its added ingredients help prevent wear on critical parts.
Hey, this is nothing, guys. For the honeymoon?
At 75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
I admire the Oakland Raiders for their sportsmanship. They're just a bunch of guys out to enjoy a friendly game of football.
Raiders, Broncos, Monday night on ABC.
Jake's still getting used to the thin air in Denver.
Time now for bonus coverage. Oregon against Michigan. The Ducks leading by 3. The lead was much bigger. In the first half, it was all Ducks, but John Navarre marching onto the field, pinned deep in his own territory. Here's Keith Jackson and Dan Fouts.
And welcome to those of you watching Florida State, Colorado. 33-7 Seminoles in that one. Here in Eugene, Oregon, it's 24-21 Oregon. Michigan from their own 4-yard line on 1st down, going for the bundle, and it is incomplete. Braylon Edwards, covered by Justin Tennessee, running down the sidelines, could not get to it.
And that history I was talking about, Keith, the biggest comeback in Michigan school history is 17 points against Virginia in '95, the season opener that year. They trailed by 18, 24-6 in this 3rd quarter.
They had a terrible first half, but about the middle of the 3rd quarter, they started to find themselves. And they're beginning to look more like the Michigan team everybody was anticipating. A crowd, thunderous, trying to help its defense. Navarre's been throwing to Braylon Edwards all day, and he throws one more time, and it's incomplete. Kevin Mitchell in on the coverage, the linebacker on that side.
Todd Harris talked about how Oregon has failed to hold on to leads in the recent history, and you can see last year against 4 top opponents in the Pac-10. You go back a year before, this loss here was the only loss in that great senior season of Joey Harrington.
3rd down and 10 from their own 4 for Michigan. This could be a big play. Big play. Navarre looking, hunting, and throws and caught by Jason Avant, who has had a big second half. He scored the first touchdown for the Wolverines. He ran free that time right in front of Rodney Woods and made the catch.
Well, Navarre's a pocket passer, and his offensive line is giving him a foolproof pocket this afternoon. Look at that. No duck within 5 yards of Navarre, and new defensive back Rodney Woods gets turned around by Avant and schooled as Michigan converts that big 3rd down.
5 catches for Avant, 79 yards and a touchdown. That's a big day, too. On 1st down now from the 27. Navarre all day, and now they're sacking. Getting back inside the 20-yard line, it's Robbie Valenzuela, the first man to get to him. Now let's spend a moment with John Saunders for this update.
Chief, the Verizon wireless update. Notre Dame has to find their offense somehow. Holiday is picked up by Greg Kaplan, who returns it 40 yards for a touchdown. Michigan State grabs a 22-9 lead, and they win it 22-16. The final as the Irish drop to 1-2. Oklahoma still blowing out UCLA, and Florida State doing likewise to Colorado.
A long season in South Bend, doesn't it? Navarre looking and looking and looking, goes outside with it to Breston, and Breston is tackled right about the original line of scrimmage by Keith Lewis. Time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report with scores and highlights. And there are lots of them. Highlights, I mean. Michigan really is the only top 10 team that went on the road for a big ball game today, and they're struggling, trailing 24-21 with 7:20 to play. 3rd down and 9 now. Navarre looking around and lets it go, and it is incomplete. He threw it to Edwards again, and this time the Ducks had 2 people on him. Lewis and Woods. Woods needs help. He can't handle it.
No, very few defensive backs can handle Edwards. Again, I think the wind really affected that pass as well. Great job by Edwards turning around the defensive back. All kind of floats, and finally the Ducks give Woods some help with Keith Lewis coming over.
Adam Findlay in to punt. It'll be his 8th of the ball game. Stephen Moore, who returned one. It's blocked. The Ducks have a shot at a touchdown. He falls down. It's picked up. It is in the end zone. Fighting for it. Touchdown, Oregon. Jordan Carey.
We talked about Keith Lewis. That's his 8th career kick block. Number 16, the senior strong safety, gets in there and takes the ball off the foot of the punter, Adam Findlay.
I think Oregon has just been hit with a celebration flag, but they'll take it.
They came off the bench to congratulate Keith Lewis. Number 16 is Lewis. Look at his job here. He takes the personal protector and delivers him to the punter. Now the ball is loose, and finally Jordan Carey.
Yep. A true freshman out of Olympia, Washington, made that recovery. Finally, it looked like it was a hot rock and nobody wanted it. But finally, they got control of it. Gordon Reese, the referee, is talking to Michigan right now.
Giving them the option, I think, where they want this penalty to be assessed. We talked earlier in the week about this game, you and I, and you said something about special teams, didn't you?
Yep, I believe in them.
The touchdown is good. After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct on Oregon. Michigan has chosen to take that 15-yard penalty on the succeeding kickoff.
So they'll take the penalty on the kickoff, which Oregon, if they convert here, will, with a kick, it'll go for a 10-point lead. If they go for 2, then it'll be an 11-point lead. But I think doing the smart thing, they're going to kick it.
And I think Michigan's doing a smart thing by making Oregon kick off from the 20-yard line.
Yep. Kick is good. So Siegel gets it through. And at 6 minutes and 55 seconds to play in a ball game, it is Oregon 31 and Michigan 21.
Hey, which never-ending pasta you guys get?
Penne with Alfredo sauce.
Spaghetti
with the meat sauce.
Fettuccine
with pesto.
You guys play tennis today?
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl, just $7.95. Pick one combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Have all you want. Wonderful.
The persistence of 135 years of experience. The performance that has enabled us to work with more than half the Fortune 500. Rely on the strength of Pacific Life.
We got a situation. Whistle 20. I'm there.
Do you have the right truck? Does your truck have a big block Vortec V8 and an Allison transmission? Does it have the most torque of any gas-powered heavy-duty pickup? Silverado. It's the right truck from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
On an uncharted island, 12 fierce competitors have gathered for
the Capital One Mascot Island Challenge.
We've separated America's favorite mascots into the polyester and wool blend tribes. First event, Iron Mascot Marathon.
Cast your vote for the National Mascot of the Year at CapitalOneBowl.com. Tune in the Capital One Bowl to see who wins.
Forte, the Oregon Ducks today have set a new stadium record at home, 59,023. Of course, they've renovated and enlarged it. But this was a big ball game for the whole state of Oregon. And this is the way the scoring has evolved across the day. You can see it was 21-6. At one time it was 24-6. And then Michigan started to crank it up. Now it's a 10-point lead for Oregon with 6 minutes and 55 seconds to play. Just as a matter of reference here, they had over 111,000 last week for Michigan's Notre Dame game in Ann Arbor. So both schools have had records. That's an NCAA record. The ball is fumbled inside the 5 by Jerry LeSueur. And look out, LeSueur coming up the sidelines with a big return. He's all the way out to the 42-yard line before the place kicker, Jared Siegel, knocks him down. And Siegel took a pretty good lick from him. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chevy Silverado. It's the right truck. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. Capital One. What's in your wallet? And Coca-Cola. Let's make it real. He had a penalty flag on the return. It's a very common occurrence, it seems, these days. And most of the time, it's the same old call. Blocking in the back.
That was a great kickoff by Siegel, but he kicked it so low it allowed LeSueur to get a big return, but part of that reason for that return was holding against Michigan. That'll pin him back inside the 20.
So the good field position out beyond the 40 negated by the penalty, and the ball is put down on the 18-yard line. Navarre sets him up with Perry behind him. Perry has been controlled so far today. The ball is thrown to the sidelines. Again, it's Edwards. Who else? And a penalty flag over near where the quarterback released the ball. It's holding against Michigan. So the Wolverines now got themselves in the foot twice with mistakes.
After the kickoff, they had the ball out near the 40-yard line. 2 flags will push it back to the 10. Going against the wind and against the clock.
The football is moved back down the field to the 9-yard line.
Boy, how big was that block punt by Keith Lewis? Gave the Ducks points, but it also gave them back the momentum and the crowd.
It is first down and 19 from the 9. Penalty flag. That might be an offside encroachment at least by Oregon. I thought the defensive left end got into the neutral zone. The pass is completed to Massaquoi, the tight end. So it is an offside call against Oregon.
And our Chevrolet drive summary, this is Michigan in the second half. Started off terribly, but then got a couple of touchdowns. This is an incredible drive after the fake field goal try by Oregon.
If the Oregon Ducks hold on and win this ball game, it will be one of the biggest wins in the school's history.
There's no question about that, Keith. Perhaps the only thing to compare to it would be the Ducks win against Colorado in the Fiesta Bowl a couple of years back with Joey Harrington.
First and 14, Navarre back to throw. Plenty of time, goes shopping, now pulls it down, takes off and gets across the 20. Out near the 22 before Kevin Mitchell brings him down.
Now, sometimes when you're back as quarterback, the things just open up for you, kind of like the Red Sea parting. But Oregon will fight this all day long. Let Navarre try to run it and then tackle him.
Second down and 6 now. He lets it go, and it is pulled in. Steve Breston, young man from Pennsylvania, making another catch, and that's going to be a first down. So at 5:53 to play, the clock stopping to move the chains. The Wolverines are still alive, trailing by 10 points, 31-21. Out of the shotgun. Not thinking around now. Just go to the shotgun and throw it. Oh, my goodness. He's lucky to get that one back. All Stephen Moore needed was another 2 inches of height, and he's got it.
He's only 5'9", Keith, so he's very disappointed he didn't pick that one off. Navarre got lucky there, threw the ball high, as he has done most of the day. How about Chris Perry, leading the nation, coming into this game and rushing and scoring? Will this cost him a trophy at the end of the year?
Second and 10 from the 32. Navarre's pass is thrown and completed to Breston. All of a sudden, the Ducks paying special attention to Edwards, and Breston is stepping up. Breston and Avant have been the two guys that stepped up for Michigan in this fourth quarter.
You put a number 1 on number 15 here, and he does resemble Anthony Carter a great deal, especially in his ability to go get that ball.
At the 43 of Oregon, first down Michigan. Navarre, no pressure, gets it away, and it is caught by Avant. So it's the Breston-Avant show right now. That tackle by Tennessee. They've been picking on Justin all day. He's held up quite well.
And you know, the other thing, Keith, after every pass in college football, every pass that's completed for a first down, the clock stops.
Yep.
So Navarre is doing a great job making completions and conserving time.
Yes, we've got to get him off his rhythm somehow. Now Oregon comes in. They got almost everybody up on the line of scrimmage. 8 people. Navarre back, loops it to the sidelines, and that one is intercepted by Justin Tennessee and brought back to the 25-yard line. He got in front of Breston, and lo and behold, look what I found, mama.
I can only think that Navarre just did not see Tennessee, because Tennessee was between him and the quarterback, and the receiver, rather.
So timeout, 5:02 to play in the ball game. Oregon has the ball in their possession.
Do you have
have the right truck? Introducing the 2004 Chevy Silverado, available with new Power Pack savings. Get this Silverado extended cab with a light-duty Power Pack, Vortec V8 heavy-duty trailering and more, and the Safe and Sound Power Pack, bucket seats, a Bose sound system and more. Combine your Power Pack savings with cash back for a $4,000 total value on select models. Silverado, now available with Power Packs. It's the right truck.
The inspector's on site. What should I do? Hello, guys. What should I... He's going to pull the permit. What should I do? Is anybody there?
If your walkie-talkie service is unavailable, bad things can happen. Now there's a push-to-talk from Verizon Wireless, brought to you on America's best, most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now?
Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Guys, thought you could use a Coke.
It's the granddaddy of all premieres.
The boy got pregnant. I got 9 months to take dummy to daddy.
1 full hour of My Wife and Kids, Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
Well, that's Big John Navarre anguishing over that interception he just threw, giving Oregon the ball. First down at their own 25, 5:02. Oregon leading by 10 points. Kellen Clemens is now in at quarterback. Mason Fyfe ran the last two series. And they give it to Whitehead. Whitehead trying to get to the outside, and he's pressed down in a hurry by Pierre Woods, and a pickup of about a yard on the play.
Great job by Pierre Woods as he just dove out and tackled Whitehead from behind, and he had to come a long way to make that tackle.
Michigan is now called timeout. They have 2 times out remaining in the ball game, and Oregon is happy to get it. The Oregon defense is very happy to get it.
Yes,
we'll be right back.
Free up your night for Outback's legendary bloomin' onion and our center-cut filet.
Hey, John. How's work? Working as we speak.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Let's say this is your car. Nice hardtop. If you drive safely, meaning you do stuff like obey the speed limit, always check your blind spot, and avoid accidents, hey, watch it, lead foot, then Allstate could reward you with something you'll eat right up. Some green. Up to 20% off your insurance bill. It's the Allstate Safe Driver Discount. Call today and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate. Hey, this is for the safe driver. Here you go.
We got a problem up here.
Tower 12, weather's moving it.
Heading up. Do you have the right truck? Does your truck have a Duramax diesel? Does it have an Allison transmission? Silverado. It's the right truck from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Well, now, clock. That's the thing everybody's got an eye on here, and nobody's gone home. All 59,023 who came are still here. As we have 4:55 to play in the ball game, it is 2nd down and 9 for the Oregon Ducks, leading Michigan 31-21. Clemens pass complete to Nate Leobratton, and a penalty flag is thrown back where the quarterback was turned upside down. Let's see about that. It's going to be roughing the passer. Boy, that's a big one, because the pass was completed well up the field.
Yeah, it's a late shot by Scott McClintock.
as he works out his frustrations. Number 36 there with the late hit. What a great throw by Clemens. Wright leading Nate Leobrotten perfectly. The big play will get 15 more yards for the personal foul, roughing the passer.
So they're going to go from their 26-yard line all the way to the Michigan 37. Wow.
7 penalties against Michigan, but 3 here in the fourth quarter. 1 on special teams, 1 on the offense, and now the defense gets in the act.
That's a 37-yard net on that play, including the penalty. That's a lot. At this point in the game, 4.5 minutes to play. Clemens gives it to Whitehead. And the Wolverines eat him up.
And the Wolverines should use their timeout here.
And they have.
Because now Oregon's thinking 3 points. They got a great field goal kicker in Jared Siegel, and he will have the wind at his back if they try a long field goal.
It is 4th down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. Dorsey under pressure, throws it. Incomplete. The Buckeyes win. And now the party begins for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And they are the national champions of college football.
This championship moment brought to you by the Bowl Championship Series.
I admire the Oakland Raiders for their sportsmanship. They wouldn't think of playing dirty. They're just a bunch of guys out to enjoy a friendly game of football.
Jake's still getting used to the thin air in Denver.
Raiders, Broncos, Monday night on ABC.
Whoa.
The 2 Oregon quarterbacks, Clemens on the left, Fife on the right.
You can see the system that Mike Bellotti very courageously has used all year is working. You know, it worked against Mississippi State and Nevada and Arizona, but you talk about stepping up in class. Well, these 2 men, to their credit, have made it work this afternoon. No interceptions in almost 4 games now for Oregon quarterbacks.
31-21 Oregon. And it's 2nd down and 9, and Clemens spends Oregon's last timeout.
And that's inexcusable because they had time, because the Wolverines just called timeout. They just spent too much time getting the play called in the huddle.
Didn't want to take the hit on the penalty.
Comedy rules on ABC Tuesday with the premiere of 4 premier comedies. And starting tonight at 8/7 Central, the season premiere of 8 Simple Rules. Share the final episodes of John Ritter with a special introduction from his TV wife, Katie Seagal. From our family,
he's forever gonna be here,
to yours. It all starts 8/7 Central, ABC Tuesday.
As we come back to Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon, the home team, the Ducks, lead 31-21, 4 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the ball game. It is 2nd down and 9 with the football resting at the 36-yard line on the Michigan side of the field. Oregon now with no times out remaining, and Michigan has 1 left. Wolverines have 3 turnovers and 3 penalties. Some late, but some when they hurt them the most. This is an end around. It is Demetrius Williams with the ball getting down to the 30. He's a burner, but the Wolverines reacting well and reading the play well. Stop him. And a timeout by Michigan. If so, that will be their last.
And right now, if the Ducks were going to try a field goal, it would be about a 49-yarder. Special teams have been a big factor, to say the least, in this game today. First quarter, this blocked field goal by Marlon Jackson was returned by Jeremy LeSueur. And now Oregon's going to try and fake a field goal from the 5-yard line. Siegel gets stopped short of the goal line. And then Keith Lewis delivers the personal protector to the punter, and Oregon falls on the ball eventually in the end zone for their 30th point. Extra point made it 31. 31-21 to score. And we didn't even include the botched fake punt by Michigan or the punt return of 69 yards by Stephen Moore for the touchdown.
Or the block of the field goal by Michigan at the outset, in which they took the lead 6-0. So there's been all kinds of freaky things going on here today. And perhaps in the minds of the pollsters, and the minds of the pundits, and the minds of the faithful of the Wolverines, the worst story is up there on the scoreboard. The number 5 team in the coaches' polls trailing by 10 points. If Oregon had kicked that field goal down here instead of trying to run it in for a touchdown, they'd be leading by 13 points, forcing Michigan to think 2 touchdowns instead of a possibility of a tie with a touchdown and a field goal. If.
Yeah.
We're playing Runyon-esque football here.
There's a whole bag of ifs in this one.
Not Kipling-esque, but Runyon-esque, because it's too wild and unpredictable to be Kipling-esque. 3rd down, 3. Clemens still got it. Now he's got a guy to dump it to, get his first down. He does it. He dumps it off to his tight end, Tim Day, and Day goes inside the Michigan 10. And a penalty flag has been thrown. Hold the phone.
And they should have called Day for holding, but they're going to call Oregon for an illegal man downfield. Tim Day was originally a pass protector for Kellen Clemens. Got away with a hold.
Clemens, in running that looping route that he was running, was trying to draw the defender to him to free Day, and it all worked out except for the ineligible man downfield.
Yeah, it took so long that the lineman thought that Clemens was running with the ball. That's why they released and went downfield too far.
Ineligible downfield offense. That's 5 yards from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
So the Ducks have hurt themselves with a mistake.
Let's watch number 85, Tim Day, here, working against the linebacker. He gets away with it.
They lose a 23-yard gain and a 1st and goal field position with that penalty. Ball is back at the 35, and it's now 3rd down and 8. Lost his balance, lost his momentum, and Terrence Whitehead goes down right about the line of scrimmage. LeSueur pinned him down. And I don't know, they're going to, let's see, is it going to be a field goal, or do they just pooch it?
I think the smart thing would be to pooch it.
You don't want to kick it in the end zone and give them the ball on the 20. Try to kill that thing as deep as you can.
Yeah.
If you go for a field goal, then you're going to give the ball over if you miss it at the 35. And right now they're on the field, and it looks to me like they're going to neither team with a timeout remaining. So he's going to come to the line of scrimmage and set there probably and try to get something, Michigan to move or something.
Well, they're going to work on that clock, Keith.
And work the clock.
I doubt that they snapped this ball.
I don't think they will, but they did.
Man.
And they run it. And Whitehead runs it right into the middle and got very little out of it. And Michigan will get control of the football at the 34-yard line.
That makes no sense at all. That is 2 decisions today that I just do not understand by Mike Bellotti. Why not punt that ball?
Now let's check in with John in New York.
Well, Keith, you want to see an unbelievable performance. Antonio Perkins takes this one and goes 75 yards on the punt return. Its 3rd touchdown of the game. That is a record in the NCAA. 277 total yards, also a record.
And back here, it's the Navarre to Edwards combination working again, getting another 1st down for the Wolverines up at the 47-yard line.
The only thing I can think, Keith, is that we've had such wacky plays on special teams today that Bellotti just didn't want to put his special team out there and risk a punt block or a field goal block. But that is puzzling that they didn't just let the clock run out, take the 5-yard penalty, push him back a little bit, and then boots the ball down deep, pin Michigan back.
Clock stopped when the chains were moved. Michigan trailing by 10, 2:47 to play. Navarre looking again for Edwards. Throws. That one is incomplete. Tennessee defending on the play, defending Avant. Avant and Breston have been very successful over the last 5 or 6 minutes in this ball game, and prior to that time, it's been the Navarre to Edwards combination that's just going for a ton in the fourth quarter.
Well, of Navarre's 24 completions, 22 of them have been to those 3 men you just mentioned.
Yep. Second down and 10. When you're throwing the ball all the time, you don't use the clock all that much. And there he goes to Edwards again, and it's complete in front of Moore. Stephen Moore not quite big enough to get him on that pattern. And it's another first down for Michigan.
Great pass by Navarre, Keith. Excuse me. And the bonus is you get out of bounds, you stop the clock, you get to rest your big horses up front. That offensive line, again, is in control, giving Navarre time to find these receivers.
36-yard line of Oregon, first down Michigan. 2:35 to play. All the time in the world, he's going for the bundle. It's incomplete. Close. Braylon Edwards against Justin Fennessy, and Edwards got one hand on it. Couldn't hold it.
Yeah, it looked like the ball just died at the end and nose dived into the turf. Good coverage there by Fennessy. I'd like to see Edwards lay out, put 2 hands out there, and he's got to be tired himself. You know, we talk about the big guys getting tired. Wide receivers.
He's coming up.
Yeah. 12 catches for 132 yards for Edwards so far.
Calvin Bell is now in there as a wideout for Michigan. Fresh legs. Blitz coming. And they get it away. It's Breston, and Breston is free. He's gone. He got away from Rodney Woods. Woods made a terrible play. He ran right by him. Breston caught the ball, turned, and there was nobody between him and the goal line. Go Michigan. Do they go 1 or do they go 2?
This will get it down to a 3-point game.
They're going to go 1.
But you never know. They might make it again.
Well, there's always overtime. You know, John Navarre is the quarterback and the holder. And the kick is blocked. Igor Olshansky blocked it. What else could happen?
Well, Michigan's got an onside kick coming up, Keith. That could happen next. Igor, 6'6", right in the middle of the pile. He's an easy guy to find, too. Right about there. Watch him push and get up and stuff this ball and keep the lead at 4. He doesn't even get penetration. That ball was kicked too low.
Yep, way down.
Yeah, Keith, you talked about Rodney Woods. He's a junior college transfer. The blitz by Oregon, they get burned because they do not have a corner at this point right here to make this play. Preston with a sharp cut, no hesitation, up the field into the end zone.
Michigan has missed 2 extra points today, or points after touchdown, if you will. So you figure onside kick here. So here comes all the good hands people out for Oregon.
200 yards for the Wolverines.
The fourth quarter. That's all in the air. It's in the air.
Absolutely. As Preston goes over 100 yards receiving on just 6 catches, 2 of them resulting in touchdowns.
Michigan goes home to play Indiana next week, while Oregon is home to play Washington State. And here's the squib, and it's off an Oregon man, and Michigan may have it. Michigan's got it.
Braylon Edwards has it, Keith. The wide receiver on the kick, the onside kick team. and Oregon came up before the line, tried to make the catch. And that's a mistake on the special teams.
Somebody got one hand out there trying to grab at the ball. That was pretty clumsy.
Right here, watch this man cross the line here. You don't have to do this. You can wait for the ball to come to you.
Wow. Tim Day, it looked like. So it's first down Michigan. The ball game in the balance at the 44-yard line. They're in a shotgun. And Navarre looking around with no pressure. Throws over the head of Avant. Avant was available because Fennessy was giving him about 3 yards.
And Keith, because of that missed extra point, Navarre and the Wolverines have to get this ball in the end zone. They cannot kick a field goal to tie the game. And they have no timeouts with which to work.
Second down and 10. Navarre looking left, throws it left. It's incomplete, intended for Avant.
Let's give Rodney Wood some credit that time. He was in the back pocket of Jason Avant, and Navarre had to throw it away.
Here in Eugene, Oregon, it's 31-27, Oregon leading Michigan with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to play. We've had other people from other regions join us. We welcome you. This has been frantic, this fourth quarter. It's been mostly Michigan except for a block punt and an Oregon touchdown. Wolverines trying to salvage their high ranking. The ball thrown to the side, and it's completed. Incredible catch by Braylon Edwards, but that's been the combination in the fourth quarter. That's gone for more than 200 yards. Stephen Moore just simply not tall enough to defend this.
He did his very best, did Moore, but so did Edwards. His 13th catch, 144 yards for Edwards.
And it's first down just inside the 45. Navarre sacked. Back at the Michigan 45, Robbie Valenzuela finally broke through. Oregon led at one time 24-6 in the third quarter.
The Ducks are trying to get fresh troops out there, Keith. Excuse me, a new defensive line.
They need some rest. Navarre gets his pass away. That is caught sliding across. And now they'll wave it off. They say no. Steve Breston, they say no.
Well, that's an amazing call by the officials, because there were 3 officials a lot closer than the man who eventually makes the call.
The man looking right down the barrel at it was the man who made the call, and he could see the ball and the body.
Boy, he ran 30 yards, though, and Lloyd Carr's giving him heck as Lloyd puts in a 30-yard dash.
Neither team with a timeout remaining.
They reset the play clock.
1:14. Third down and 19 for Michigan. Navarre's pass is thrown underneath all the coverage and the traffic, and is completed to Massaquoi, the tight end, and he will get to the 41-yard line.
That's a smart play by Navarre. You're not going to pick up all 19 yards. Throw it to an underneath receiver. Let him run for it. Good tackle by Rodney Woods as he bounces back.
Clock running inside 50 seconds. No timeout remaining. And they don't stop it unless you can incomplete or complete it and move the chains for a first down. And Navarre looking around. Throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for a very tired Braylon Edwards. Now it is fourth down. A record crowd of 59,023.
It's over, Keith.
It's over.
Yep. Ducks will get the ball. Michigan cannot stop the clock.
No timeout. They used them all up.
What a heck of an effort by Michigan to fight back.
On the fourth down play, that was a difficult play to complete. Braylon Edwards, what a day he's had, huh?
Just couldn't gather enough strength to get up and make another fantastic catch.
So with 33 seconds and no times out remaining, Oregon, all they have to do is just freeze the ball and get the clock running and win the ball game. A huge upset. Today's Chevrolet players of the game are Braylon Edwards and Stephen Moore. Edwards of Michigan, Moore of Oregon. Recognition of their efforts. Chevrolet making a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Braylon Edwards, 13 catches for 144 yards. Remarkable. It's over. And Oregon upsets Michigan 31-27.
An incredible win.
The New York Yankees.
Whatever the future holds for the Yankees and whatever transgressions they've made in the past, their names will always resonate above the drum roll of sports history. Live on Babe Ruth, live on Lou Gehrig, live on Joe DiMaggio and Mickey and Roger and Yogi and Reggie and Derek. And yes, you too, George. For Sports Century, I'm Jeremy Schaap.
The world premiere of Sports Century, Derek Jeter, coming October 17th.
Saturday, October the 11th, 1969, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Today marks the first time this season that two unbeaten teams, both ranked in the top 10, will meet as the Sooners of Oklahoma, led by Heisman Trophy candidate Steve Owens, face Darrell Royal's dazzling triple option offense, which has made Texas the second-ranked team in the nation.
Two unbeaten teams about to go. First in the center of the field on the 100-year symbol. Tri-captains for Texas. Street, Coy, and Hulsell. For Oklahoma, Owens, Mendenhall, Zabel, and Files. The referee, McDuff Simpson. This will be the toss, deciding who will kick, who will receive. Now the other officials are being introduced. Jay Keck, Wayne Shaw, Mel Sheehan, and Barney Welch. Here's the toss.
Who's going to call it? You're going to call it? What'd you call? Heads. You called heads? It's heads. You want to spin that in?
That's Oklahoma on the far side. Oklahoma has won the toss. Oklahoma will kick from right to left. They have a strong wind, Bud Wilkinson, coming from right to left here at the Cotton Bowl in Texas.
Both of these teams would rather have the football because they have such confidence in their offense, but the wind is strong enough that winning the toss, Oklahoma decided to go with the wind because it will make maybe a 15 to 20 yard difference in kicking.
That's right. Kicking today will be a big factor. Great punting on the part of Oklahoma. Texas average. There you see the recent series results. Coach Darrell Royal off 2 straight wins, 67 and 68. And, of course, Oklahoma would like to bounce back, ranked number 8 in the country. Texas is number 2. Oklahoma has won 2 games, downing Wisconsin and Pittsburgh with a week off last week, while Texas defeated California, Texas Tech, and Navy. Oklahoma averaging 42 points a game. Texas a little more than 40. So we expect a lot of scoring, a lot of action here this afternoon, where it's very hot. Down on the field, it's 94 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. Humidity is 51%. Charlie Spire and Jim Bertelsen, here you see them. 35 is Bertelsen, that sophomore from Hudson, Wisconsin, a good fleet back, and so is number 88, as Bruce Durr will do the kicking. Monty Johnson is in the vicinity of the ball also. The ball centered in the middle of the field. This is the opening kickoff. And here we go. As soon as it's touched, that clock will start and the game will be underway. This is Bertelsen. Now at the 2-yard line, moving out to the 5, the 10, the 15. Coming across to the 20-yard line. And the white jerseys of the Sooners, trimmed in red. Led by the quarterback, Mildren, making the tackle. So now, it'll be the Longhorns, undefeated in 3 games, with the ball, 1st and 10, just inside their own 20-yard line. They're going into a 15-mile-an-hour wind. The quarterback will be 16, Jim Street, Coy 24, Worcester 30, Bertelsen 35. From the 20, Texas with the ball. get an idea of the type of hitting that we'll have here today. Bodies everywhere as Ted Coy picks up a couple of yards for the Longhorns.
And as we mentioned in the pregame show, Chris, Oklahoma's going to test them to see whether they want to throw the football. That time, Monty Johnson, the Sooner safety man, was up to the split end side about 4 yards from the line of scrimmage as the ball was snapped.
There's the offensive line of Texas now with a 2nd and 7. The Longhorns at their own 23-yard line. Jimmy Street, the quarterback. Oh, a good loss thrown in there by number 43, Steve Aycock, a sophomore from Midland, Texas.
Oklahoma, instead of being in their 4-4 on both snaps, has been in a 6-2. They were in a normal 6-2 on first down. The last time they were overshifted. Texas ran the option back away from the original fake, but they were going into the overshifted side.
If you look at the offensive backfield, Street has only thrown 17 times thus far this year. Now it's 3rd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Worcester, the fullback, number 30. 3-4 Oklahoma Sooner defenders, led by Kevin Grady, number 75, Aycock, number 43, and Monty Johnson, number 25. And with the ball back at the 23, it is a 4th down and 7, a punting situation.